At Darlington, we find our confidence in discovering who we are.
In the classroom
and on stage.
The opportunities are endless.
Our creativity knows no bounds as we take risks,
explore opportunities,
and stretch our minds.
Together with our teachers,
we use what we've learned to create beauty,
to tell stories,
to inspire.
We discover new passions
while allowing existing ones to flourish.
We know that we can do anything,
be anything,
achieve anything.
We give our time to something greater than ourselves.
Whether we're sketching,
singing,
writing,
or acting, we find new ways to express ourselves
and share our talents with the world.
We know that our ideas and contributions matter,
and we take great pride in that.
Because today,
because today,
tomorrow, forever.
We're Darlington Tigers.
They are super knowledgeable about the market in Rome, whether it's home buying, rental homes. They have their finger on the pulse of what's going on.
We both sold a house and bought a house, and the transition from both went really smoothly for us.
I feel like they've become almost a part of our family, so we're just really appreciative of Hardy and what they've done for us.
All their team put together, from maintenance to management to sales, I can't really say enough about them. I'd highly recommend them to anybody coming to town or living in Rome looking for investment properties or homes to buy.
I'd like to wish the Darlington football team a great season. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection, or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Well, welcome back to the pregame, everybody. We're excited to have the head coach with us, Tommy Atha, as we get ready for Game 4 of the season. And, Coach, as we get ready to start our conversation, let's talk a little bit about the bye week. The last two seasons, you guys had one at the beginning of the year, one at the end, which meant you played 10 weeks in a row, which was quite a grind. So I bet it was nice to have a little bit of a break.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt the last 2 years were brutal, just from a health standpoint, because you put so much going into the year, and then you get that bye week, and then, it's on for 10 weeks in a row. And so we were definitely pleased with the way that our scheduling fell. We got the bye week this past week, and then we'll get another one right there towards the end of the year. So we kind of like that a little better.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the last game. Now, because you had the bye week, it kind of seems ages ago in a sense, but you guys played Christian Heritage. It was your first home game of the year after a couple of, one really long road trip, and then going up to Sonoraville, being successful in both of those places. And it was one of those games you guys jumped out early, had a 2-score lead early in the game, but by the time you got with about 9 minutes to go, it was a one-score game, so you had some big plays that helped you over the hump, but it almost felt like at times you kind of had to grind it out.
Yeah, and we did, and that's one of the things you gotta mature as a football team. When you've got a good team down, you've got to go ahead and put the hammer down and finish them off, and we did not do that, and that's where we've got to take the next step. Given that opportunity, whenever it comes again, we've got to make sure we don't shoot ourselves in the foot or give another team a big play to let them back in it. So, but I was very proud of the way we responded. So in some sense, it was kind of a good thing because, we did have to step back and really grind it out toward the end and made some big plays when we had to and came away with a big win. So there were some positives and negatives involved in that one.
Very well put, but as you mentioned, just great to come out with a win against a team. They're going to keep fighting, so you showed a lot of resolve, your team did in that particular game. And speaking of the big plays, the two at the end that helped seal the deal, Eli Thompson comes up with a massive play as well as Demarion Floyd, and we were waiting on that big play from Eli, and it happened in that game at a very critical moment.
He's so explosive. I mean, he's tremendously quick, got great ball skills, and one thing that we feel fortunate about is we've got a number of guys we can distribute the ball to, and any number of them could make that big play, and it was Eli's time to make it, and we know what he can do. But we were certainly glad to see Eli make it at that moment. We certainly hope that's not the last one he makes for us this year on both sides of the ball.
I certainly think that will be the case. We're going to see lots of big plays from that young man. He's quite a player. Well, let's talk about this week's opponent. You've got the Northwest Whitfield Bruins coming to town. They're 4-0. They beat Pepperell pretty soundly in the first game of the year, had an overtime thriller with Cola Creek. They've beaten Ringgold and most recently North Murray. So they've played some good teams and performed at a high level. So this is exactly the kind of challenge that I know the Darlington Tigers get excited about.
We've talked about that before. We've always prided ourselves on playing quality non-region opponents, and yet again, this is an even bigger opponent, and not just a bigger opponent, but a very good bigger opponent. They do an outstanding job up there. They've got great depth. They've got playmakers on both sides of the ball. So, just a tremendous opportunity for us. We feel like we're getting better as a football team, and we feel like we're ready to go out there and step up and compete with them. And so, we're excited about the opportunity.
So when you look at the Northwest Whitfield Bruins, when I've read some stories about them this year, it looks like they're a pretty balanced team. They can run the ball, they throw it a bit, so they could present some challenges on defense that you guys, I know, have been working hard to prepare for this week.
And they play really fast. That's the other thing. They're an up-tempo spread offense, and they run the ball equally as well. So, we've certainly got to be ready to get our calls in quick and to get lined up, and hopefully on the flip side, hopefully we can sustain some drives. They can't score when their offense is not on the field, and that doesn't mean that we're going to necessarily change anything that we do. We've just got to be very intentional with what we do, and we've got to do a great job of finishing drives, sustaining drives, and making sure that we score points when we get the opportunity.
Well, Coach, obviously we talked a little bit about this before, the benefits of tough opponents, and you guys are getting ready for region play to begin next week, where the rubber meets the road in terms of playoffs and things of that sort. So why is it important to have such a tough opponent that's going to test you potentially in a game like this before you get into region play?
I just think the better competition you play, the more prepared you are as you go down the road. And also, I think giving your guys the opportunity to get experience, and that's one of the things that, unfortunately, by virtue of some injuries early in the season, some guys have had to step up already. And so we're getting those guys back, and so that hopefully serves as a benefit to us. But, we can't replicate in practice what you see on the field on Friday night. So anytime we get the opportunity to play really good teams, getting into region play, we want to take advantage of that, and we certainly feel like this is one of those situations.
I may be putting you on the spot with this next question, but I was thinking about this driving around earlier this week. Coaches' sayings or maxims or phrases or whatever you want to say, but looking back at your history as a player or, coaching underneath another coach or whatever the case may be, are there any influences that you had that had certain sayings that have really stuck with you over the years?
Oh, well, there's no doubt. It goes to Jerry Sharp. I'll tell you, and I've told my guys this, Coach Sharp always very even-keeled, and I don't care if it was the preseason scrimmage or when we were down at Lincoln County going to play for the state championship. The last thing that would ever come out of Coach Sharp's mouth is, men, if you play hard, good things will happen. And that is simple, but so very true. If you go out there and play harder than your opponent does, then good things will happen for you.
All right. The second part of that question, if we were sitting here with some of your players, what are some things that you would think they would say that Coach Tommy Atha says during practice?
I would probably say control the controllables. You know, that's the biggest thing they hear from me, which is, you know, don't worry about those things that are out of your control. Worry about those things that you can control, and everything else will take care of itself.
And those are the things that you learn in sports that carry over to other areas of your life.
Yeah, we certainly hope so.
Well, Coach, as always, appreciate your time. Looking forward to the game tonight, and go Tigers.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. It's always a pleasure.
That puts a wrap on our conversation with head coach Tommy Atha as we get ready for Game 4, and it is here tonight at Chris Hunter Stadium. Darlington Tigers set to take on the Northwest Whitfield Bruins. 2 undefeated teams get ready to lock horns. You don't want to go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Again, we appreciate each one of you being here tonight. Hey, whenever our student athletes need medical assistance, the professionals at Atrium Health Floyd are there to help. From the sidelines to the infirmary, Atrium Health Floyd is an important partner in keeping the Darlington Tigers healthy. Thank you, Atrium, for all your help. The stadium band proudly welcomes their 8th grade guest performers tonight. Will Bowerman on trumpet, Banks Brown on trumpet, and Cooper La Liberty on alto saxophone. Thank you to these impressive middle schoolers and their participation in tonight's stadium band.
At Darlington, we find our confidence in discovering who we are.
In the classroom.
And on stage.
The opportunities are endless.
Our creativity knows no bounds as we take risks,
Explore opportunities.
And stretch our minds.
Together with our teachers.
We use what we've learned to create beauty.
To tell stories.
To inspire.
We discover new passions.
While allowing existing ones to flourish.
We know that we can do anything.
Be anything.
Achieve anything.
We give our time to something greater than ourselves.
Whether we're sketching,
singing,
writing,
or acting, we find new ways to express ourselves.
And share our talents with the world.
We know that our ideas and contributions matter.
And we take great pride in that.
Because today.
Because today.
Because today.
Because today.
Because today, tomorrow, forever.
We're Darlington Tigers.
elected to defer to the second half, so we're going to get a look at that Darlington defense to start this game. I'll run down the captains for you real quick. For Northwest Whitfield, you would have number 7, that's Braxton Floyd, 16, that's Holden Lane. Also, in terms of their captains, number 38, Jax Brooker, and number 25, Dominique Smith. For Darlington, the captains tonight were Eli Thompson. Also, Bowden Owens was one of the captains this evening, as well as Gus Gamage, and then you had Gatlin Hancock. So that's your captains. Again, Darlington wins the toss, Rick. They have deferred, and we'll start on defense tonight.
I think that's the safe play every time. When you win the toss, you want to start the second half with the ball, and that gives you a lot of extra gains if you can get your scores in and maybe score late in the first half, knowing you're going to tumble over and be on offense again to return in the second half.
Well, the Darlington Tigers and the Northwest Whitfield Bruins are both set on their side of the field to make an entrance. Here come the Darlington Tigers, ladies and gentlemen. The fans are on their feet. They got the milk jugs going. Everybody's fired up and ready for some football tonight, and we got a perfect night for it. We're low 80s, dipping into the 70s, not a cloud in the sky. It's going to be a wonderful night for Darlington Tigers football here at Chris Hunter Stadium.
No doubt about it. Great to be a Tiger on a Friday night. You can't say that too many times, Matt.
Right now, you got the Darlington Tigers kneeling for a prayer with Coach Atha, and we talked earlier in the pregame about what a great football coach he is, what a great guy he is, and he's interested in winning football games, but more than anything else, he's interested in developing great young men that go out in the community and do, unbelievable, extraordinary things.
He's for many decades now made boys into young men, and even better young men than he could even foresee from maybe initially when he got them as maybe clay, and he shapes and molds and fires them literally in Iron Tiger as early as in the early summer, and then they have their workouts for the summer, and then summer camp really is a crucible for the Darlington Tigers. There's no team going to be in better physical condition than the Darlington Tigers.
Well, they're taking their spot on the field as they get ready to kick it away, and it looks like we're going to see the kickoff from Ryland Scott. Sometimes we see Tommy Bethel run out there and kick it off, but right now we're going to start with Ryland Scott. He'll kick it away from the 40. 12 minutes on the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for Game 4, second game of the year here at Chris Hunter Stadium. And again, I just can't say enough about the weather that's been dialed up for this evening. It is absolutely 100% perfect. You couldn't ask for it any better.
Temperature's perfect, no wind. With Ryland Scott kicking off, we know, and a host of other Tigers, he's a senior kicker that could kick on Saturdays.
A couple of men back here standing at the 10-yard line to attempt to return this kick from the Tigers when we get things going. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we get ready for Ryland Scott. He's trotting up to the football. Toe meets leather. We are underway from Chris Hunter Stadium. He's going to kick this over to about the 25-yard line where a young man dives for it. That was number 45, Connor Cummings, who grabs it. And the Northwest Whitfield Bruins will have pretty decent field position to start.
The strategy that you're seeing throughout GHSA and the teams in the state of Georgia, it seems to be prevalent strategy, is they kick it high, they rainbow kick it at an angle, and it otherwise comes down at a place that you already have people covering their lanes in a good pursuit of the ball, and they have to fair catch it.
Well, we've talked about him a lot. Owen Brooker, the quarterback, is going to line up his offense in a shotgun. He's got 5 wideouts here for this play, so an empty backfield as he gets ready to take his first snap of the football game. They like to sling it around. They're going to drop back in a pretty clean pocket. He's got company, and he's going to be dropped. Coming in was Bryant Powell, who's been out the first part of the season, and he makes some noise on the first play.
First play, Bryant Powell, welcome back. Welcome back into the Darlington Pride. And you were missed, and you've made your presence known first play. You're right, Matt.
Unbelievable. Well, now that's going to drop them back, brings up second down and 22 after the loss. Ball is going to be on the 13-yard line here for the Bruins. They're going empty backfield again with 5 wide receivers as Mr. Brooker gets ready to take the snap. He will drop back quickly this time, and he's got company. He's brought down inside the 5-yard line. It was Bryant Powell again. Oh, my goodness.
Assisting Reporting on the play with Bryant was Joel Lowenberg, and he's the 10th grader. That's the phenom since his 9th grade year, Matt.
So Bryant Powell with a couple of sacks right there, and that moves them all the way back to the 4-yard line, almost backed up against their goal line. They're going to have to snap this ball into the end zone.
I love the direction they're going.
Absolutely. Owen Brooker set to take the snap. Empty backfield. He's got company. He is going to tuck and run the football. He's got good legs. He's all the way out across the 20, and now he's pushed out of bounds at about the 30, so that definitely helps their cause.
Well, that's what a senior quarterback does. Brooker is a senior. He is 6 foot, 195 pounds. He has some wheels on him. He'd rather throw it, but he ran it, and we're going to have to be aware of that. He just ran for first down, and it was like 3rd down and 30. No, it's 4th down and 5, but he got 25 of that 30 back.
Oh, absolutely. 25-yard run for the quarterback, Brooker, but this is a punt situation. To handle the punting duties is going to be Hudson Gray, and we'll get ready for him to punt it back. Talon Shirey standing at the 39 on the opposite side of the field. In over in. He'll field it nicely. Stays up. He's at about midfield. Breaks a tackle, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 48 on the Bruins side of the field. So wonderful field position, Rick, for the Tigers.
Well, you know, we have a quarterback, and how many times do you have a quarterback that has a QB/linebacker to the side of it? Jack Good will stick it in there. He'll run the ball. He'll turn it up. He has the mentality of a linebacker, and the last person I know that was a quarterback and a linebacker was Jim Kelly, that went on to a great Hall of Fame career in the NFL. But Jack Good, for purposes of the Darlington Tigers, is going to be at the helm. He's going to be taking snaps, but he's a tough player.
So Good will line him up. He's got 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. D-Man Floyd is in the backfield. Everybody knows his name now. They're going to hand it off to him. Stutter step, stays up. Look at those moves. Brings him down to about the 41-yard line. A good pickup for the Tigers.
Well, Floyd makes it look easy. He just steps and sidesteps and slips, hits, and you can't arm tackle him. You better wrap up and stay with him because he leaned forward and got a good 6.5 yards.
So a good start for the Tigers on first down. 2nd down and 4. They're going to send trips to the far side. 1 receiver to the near side. They're working from left to right on your radio dial as Jack Good gets them lined up. Flank to his left. Slightly behind him is going to be D-Man Floyd. He gets the rock again, and this time he's going to be brought down. A pickup of about 2 there, Rick.
They seem to scheme it pretty well in between the guards, and we got some positive yardage, but it is going to bring up 3rd down and maybe a long 1 or 2, actually.
So Northwest Whitfield went 3 and out on the opening possession of the game. The Tigers got the ball at the 47-yard line in Bruins territory. Right now they got a 3rd down and 2 and trying to move it further into Bruins territory. So the ball on the 39-yard line. Going to have that same formation, it looks like. Trips to the far side, 1 in the near. You got to watch Demarion Floyd. He's lined up in the slot this time, so they're moving him around. This is an empty set. Demarion goes in motion. And here comes the snap. They're going to pull it down, give it back to D-Man, and he is going to be brought down quickly. Let's give credit where credit's due to that young man who was in there very quickly and brought him down, Rick. That was number 38, Jax Brooker, who is the vocal leader of that defense, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, he had positive inside pursuit. And number 38, as you said, he's a senior, and a middle linebacker needs to take command of the game, and that play he did.
Going for it on 4th and 2, and it looks like they may be trying for the hard count here. Some guys shifting around here, different formation. They're going to snap it a little bit high, and here comes a little pooch punt here from Jack Good. It's going to roll inside the 10 and all the way down to the 1 where it's downed. They got him backed against the goal line.
Number 17, Slade Clevenger, was ready to capture that and down it at the 1. It was down there waiting on it. Excellent play.
So both teams are forced to punt on their first possessions, but again, as we mentioned, Darlington is going to pin the Bruins back all the way to their 1-yard line, so they got to get themselves out of jail and find some room to work with if they're going to do something here.
Well, I'll be surprised if you see him in the shotgun or fading back and running around in the end zone with those 2 opening sacks on their drive.
So they're going to line up again, and it does look like a shotgun. This time he's going to have a couple of running backs, 1 flanked on each side, working from right to left as we get ready for Brooker to take the snap. He puts the ball in the air quick, gets it out to a receiver. He had company quick. It's incomplete, and I think he heard footsteps, Rick.
Well, I'm sure he did because he had number 10 back there with him for the Tigers. Jack Good was back there, and also the general coverage on the receiver he threw it to was just a blanket.
Bowden Owens was all over him. So we get ready for second down and 10 from the 1 yard line. Again, the Bruins are going to have to snap the ball into their own end zone, trying to get themselves out of jail here to start this possession. Their second of the game. We're scoreless, by the way. 8:23 left. First quarter, ball's in the air. A pretty long ball here, and it's just thrown out of bounds. That's going to bring up third down.
The quarterback was knocked down. The rush, the pursuit of the quarterback from him taking the snap in the shotgun position, he was in the back of the end zone when he threw it down out of bounds on the Bruins sideline. He got rid of that.
Oh, absolutely he did. So this brings up third down and 10 here for the Bruins. Ball still at the 1 yard line. Not a lot going on here on their second drive of the game. This Darlington defense has really got their ears pinned back here in this game to start the game.
Be beautiful to get a safety.
And we get ready for the snap to Brooker. He takes it. It's going to run the football up the middle, jumps over a player, kind of hurdled him, and gets out to the 10-yard line. So that puts them in a little bit better position to punt this ball away.
Their punter's still going to be standing on the front part of the end zone at least to punt it away. They seem to be, they are changing up. There's just no way that they would be so bold as to go for it. I wish they would.
I don't care what stage of the game you're in. Nobody's going to be that bold.
But no, not this early and from their own 10. They act like they delayed a bit. It's a single number player on his jersey. I can't quite see his number that's punting it for the Bruins.
It's going to be number 2, Hudson Gray.
Okay.
2 wide receivers on the they're going to punt it away, obviously. There's a spiraling kick that's going to drop at about the 40, takes a nice Bruins bounce, and that gets them across the 50. So if you're the Bruins, you don't love the situation, but they certainly made the most of it on the punt.
The Tigers will take over 1st and 10 on their own 49.5-yard line, and we're going to be driving away from our large scoreboard and concession stand. And the way Matt and I are looking at the game, the Tigers are going to be driving to our right down toward the field house, and it's half the field they have to go, Matt, to score.
So 3 possessions, 3 punts in this football game. Darlington about to get the ball for the second time here this game. We're scoreless, obviously, with 7:48 left to go in our first quarter. We're glad you're with us tonight on WLAQ and also the live video stream provided by Darlington School. And Good takes the snap, and he's going to drop back, looking to throw. He is able to connect with Clevenger, who's up. He is across the 30 before he's brought down. So a big pass play to Braden Bell, to start off this drive.
No question about it. Having been a receiver throughout high school, he found the lane, he turned around, he caught it with his hands, and he tucked it away before he even turned and moved. And then he had a lot of rush after catch yardage. We're 1st and 10 inside the 30-yard line of the Bruins.
Tigers back to the line of scrimmage and quick. D-Man Floyd in the backfield, turning and handing it off to him is going to be Good. He runs up the middle, stays up, breaks about 3 tackles. I thought he was going to get 2 or 3 yards, and he turned it into 7 or 8.
Floyd moved the pile. He's got a good core center of strength, and he's got great balance in a forward lane. He runs behind his pads
stays
well.
up, breaks about 3 tackles. Second down and 2 for the Tigers, as now they've got the ball right there on the edge of the red zone. Coming off for a little breather there is going to be Demarion Floyd, also Talon Shirey. So we're going to have some new personnel for this package. And now they're going to line up shotgun formation, but with everybody in tight on the line of scrimmage. There's a snap.
There he is.
Trick play. Ball's in
touchdown.
The air. Sammy Konchesky was Eli. Eli Thompson with a touchdown pass.
Fantastic.
He got the ball out. To Braden Bell, was it? Yes, and it was a trick play.
There he is.
For a trick play.
Was that touchdown?
Sammy Konchesky was it 5 or 6?
Number 5, Eli Thompson. He came from left toward from the Bruins sideline toward our way in motion. It was a simple Jack Good toss to him or hand to him, and Eli sold it. He tucked it. He ran a few steps, pulled up, and just dropped it right over the deep third defensive back's head, right into the arms of number 19, Braden Bell.
So, again, it was Thompson to Bell, a touchdown pass, and the Darlington Tigers strike first. You got Rylan on Ryland Scott on for the extra point. The hole will be handled by Sammy Konchesky. And here comes the kick. It's on the way, and it goes off the cross, or actually off one of the posts, and it's no good.
It's off the right upright, and that's rare. If he tried to hit the upright, he probably couldn't, but he kicks it so hard and so accurate. You just saw a rarity, and I'm sure Ryland will be back with a menacing force on his next kick and make it.
No doubt about it. He's got a lot of experience.
Oh, tremendous.
And most of the time, he's 100% perfect. And one of the things that you have to be able to do if you're a kicker, which he has done a great job of, if you have something like that happen, you just got to have a very, very short-term memory and just get it out of your head and move on.
Exactly. You've just got to have amnesia, and it's over with, and you go to the next event that you're out there to help your team. I want to say a little bit about Braden Bell while we're lining up to kick it off. He stalk blocked the very man that he then buzzed by once Eli Thompson showed that he was going to pass, and that's the mark of a great receiver, and everyone played their role to the hilt.
Oh, no doubt about it. Perfectly executed trick play. It caught me flat-footed, no doubt about it, and the Tigers are up 6-0, 6:41 left to go here in the first quarter. And Rick, that's one of the things that you know is going to happen. You just don't know when it's going to happen. When are the Tigers and Brent Bell, their offensive coordinator, going to break out the bag of tricks?
Well, once again, it's about discipline. You got to have disciplined players that don't make unforced errors. To have Jack Good take a shotgun, hand it off to another guy, he tucks it and fakes to run around the end, and then he throws to another receiver, and it's his first pass of the night, number 5, and we know how talented Eli Thompson is. If he wants to play on Saturday, he can.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Well, it looks like we're in a timeout now. The players are coming back out onto the field on a perfect night for football here at Chris Hunter Stadium. And right now the Tigers are on top, where they've been much of the season, 6-0. Tigers coming to this game 3-0, hosting a 4-0 team. It's also a Class 4A team that's been making some noise this year. So we got two really, really good football teams locking horns tonight. And so far, the Tigers' defense has just been outstanding.
Well, we're going to see how the Bruins react to getting hit in the mouth that way. And we've had field advantage, and we've controlled this game predominantly almost down to each play. So we're going to see how the Bruins react as a Quad A school that's undefeated.
So right now we're waiting for the Tigers to come back and kick the ball off here to the Bruins. Going to have a couple of men back around the 5-yard line. It looks like this time it's going to be Tommy Bethel, and he's the kicker. When he's out there, you can pretty much watch it sail into the end zone a lot of the time. So they're going to kick this one deep more than likely. Here comes the kickoff. That one's going to be a line drive that drops in at about the 10. It will be fielded. They're going to cut up towards midfield with it and will be brought down. Good coverage right there from the Tigers. They're going to drop him about the 25.
Number 20, Timmy Smith. Timmy got down, he broke down, and to make an open field tackle, when you have to come down and break down on a guy that's rushing up towards you, and he knows what he's going to do with the ball, is an exceptionally hard thing to do, and Timmy took him down. Timmy Smith, number 20.
The return man was Isaiah Foster for the Bruins, by the way, and the Bruins will go back to the line of scrimmage now. Down 6-0. They got the ball on the 25-yard line on their side of the field to start this drive. They're going to line up with everybody in tight, but with a shotgun formation. They'll turn, hand it off, going to try to run it this time, and greeted there by Joel Owenberg, the sophomore. We called him the freshman all year last year. Oh, man, what a heavy hit.
Joel hits heavier than he is, and he's a pretty big kid and very strong.
So shotgun formation for 2nd down and 12 after a 2-yard loss. Low snap picked up. Here's a pass in the air, and that's going to be incomplete. A little bit sailing over the head of the wide receiver there. The intended receiver, Rick, was Braxton Floyd.
Slade Clevenger, number 17 for the Tigers, had great coverage, stride for stride, and he was getting his head turned around to see where the ball was, and when he saw that it was out of bounds, he saw that he mastered the coverage, and it was excellent coverage.
3rd down and 12, ball on the 23-yard line. The Bruins are working from right to left. Got trips to the far side, one receiver to the near side. Brooker dropping back. He's got company, has to dump it. Little screen pass is going to be out to Holden Lane, but the Darlington Tigers had great coverage and bring him down. I believe he took another loss there.
Well, Captain Holden Lane is a senior, and he was just tackled by one of our many favorite sophomores, as all of the Tiger players are favorites. Number 4, Joel Lowenberg again.
Well, I got to tell you, Rick, I don't think anybody necessarily expected this game to start this way because of the prowess that this offense has had all year from Northwest Whitfield, but the Darlington Tigers defense is having none of it.
I guarantee the folks from Tunnel Hill didn't, and it's pretty much a sold-out visitor stands.
Hudson Gray kicked it away, the punter, and it goes out of bounds at around the 43, 44-yard line. So, again, you're going to have Darlington in pretty good field position.
And to state what Darlington's been doing on maintaining field position excellently, this is their worst field position of the game.
Which is crazy when you think about it. So the Tigers will trot that offense back out on the field. Going to make a couple of personnel changes here before they snap the ball. But they'll have 1st and 10 working from left to right, already leading the game 6-0. Scored on a trick play, a pass from Eli Thompson to Braden Bell on their second drive of the game. This is the Tigers' third drive of this football game. Shotgun formation. Bowden Owens is going to be flanked to the right of quarterback Jack Good. Man goes in motion. That's Eli Thompson. There's the snap. Good is looking towards the right. Now he's got company. He's going to be sacked for a pretty massive loss. Try to catch that young man's number there for the Bruins. It looks, is that 20 or 28? No, it's 28. And Rick, that is going to be Ike Ralston.
And also assisting him in the middle, 53 made a really good penetration. Credits due for Colton Harrington, the nose guard, 5'10", 220. That's a fire plug.
So that's an 8-yard loss, bringing up 2nd and 18 for the Tigers, now working from the 34.
That's the worst field position we've had. We'll see how the Tigers react. It's only 2nd down, but 2nd and 18. It may be that we're going to have to improvise to get the ball out quick.
Here's the snap. They're going to run it up the middle, and there is just nothing there. And that is going to be 3rd down and a long, long way to go because I don't think he got anything there, maybe a couple of yards.
I think he maybe got a couple. We're talking about 3rd and a long 16 or 16 yards to go. And it's clearly a passing situation. I'm excited to see what we're going to do in this situation because we have a class group of receivers that can catch the ball.
This is 3rd down and 16, ball on the 36. Darlington on their side of the field, rolling out, looking to pass is Good, puts it in the air, and it's going to sail over the head of Braden Bell. They've been really connected in this game so far, but that one was in no man's land, and that's going to be, it looks like a punt situation for the Tigers.
Well, the one thing Jack Good did and that a quarterback needs to do is if it's a flag route or a route to slant to the sideline, you need to throw it to where your player can catch it or it goes out of bounds because you are the two that know where it's going. You don't need an interception.
Very good point, Rick. Tigers are going to line up and punt it away. Tommy Bethel will punt it away here to the Bruins. They'll have a man standing back at the 28-yard line on their side of the field working from right to left. Here is the kick. Looks like a pretty clean kick. Drops in at about the 35 and just kind of dies there and rolls out of bounds. So Northwest Whitfield will have pretty decent field position here.
Now, this will be their best field position yet. They're going to have it on about the 32.5, 33-yard line, it looks like. And the Darlington defense has been so dominant, you wonder what they're talking about over there in the Bruin huddle before the quarterback comes out. Senior quarterback, Brooker, he's thrown for nearly 1,100 yards already in their games, previous games, so that's got to be something on their mind.
Well, Brooker lines them up with 1st and 10, ball on the 34-yard line on their side of the field, working right to left. They're going to throw a little out route to the outside on the right side. He's running down the sidelines, one man to beat, and Darlington Tigers get to him. Got a good push there from Joel Lowenberg. Knock him down. That saved a touchdown right there.
Yeah, I think the delay on the pass out to the outlet toward the Bruin sideline by Brooker created maybe an overrun by our defender. They're going fast.
That was their first down, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
There's the snap. Quarterback's going to sling it out to the right side. This time the defense got in there and got a hand on it. They're saying that's a forward pass, so that'll be blown dead.
Number 42, Logan Floyd, nearly came up with an interception. It had some steam on it, and the receiver knows it's coming in that hot, but Logan Floyd mashed it.
So 2nd down and 10 as Darlington comes up with a big defensive play there on the previous down. 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. They're going to hand it off, run it up the middle, getting tripped up. McKay Rush, I believe, got in there and grabbed his shoelaces and pulled him down, was the ball carrier, number 30, Rick, Dominic Johnson.
McKay Rush wrapped him up from the knees down and twisted him and tied him in a knot. third down and a long 8. It may be even 9.
And McKay Rush caught a pass on a 2-point conversion in the previous game a couple of weeks ago. So contributing to this football team in a very meaningful way. There's the snap. Going to sling it out here to the near side. They get it in the hands of the wide receiver, and he is brought down immediately at the line of scrimmage by Connor Ellison. What a great defensive stop.
Yeah, the ball came loose late, and I promised you something before we went on the broadcast, but I am looking forward to the officials watching for the Bruins being handsy on our defensive backs, because that's a sure way to get outlet passes out and get the swing back running downfield for you. But number one for the Darlington Tigers, Talon Shirey shaked off his defender, his blocker.
So we get ready for the punt from Hudson Gray, and he will kick it away. It is sailing towards the end zone, so this should be a touchback, and they can't get to it in time to down it, so it is.
Well, you know, like you're saying, it's a beautiful night, and if you're not here at Chris Hunter Stadium, we're so glad you've tuned in to listen to Matt and all the great advertisers, the loyal advertisers for WLAQ for years and years, to sponsor Darlington football and allow Matt to bring the excellent broadcast to the game. And Ian Griffin, we miss you, and I'll keep your seat warm this Friday night, and I'm honored to be invited, Matt, to announce with you.
Always a pleasure to get to be around you, and your wealth of knowledge about football adds so much to the broadcast, and I appreciate that. Always great to get your insight, Rick. 6-0, Tigers lead it. They start off at their own 20, so not their greatest field position of the game. Here's a pass to start things off, and they hit Logan Floyd, and a flag comes in, and I think they've got a late hit on the quarterback, roughing the passer, huh?
Yeah, number 11 hit him late, and he hit him hard, and he was in a defenseless position. It's going to be 15 yards and a first down, and the first, I guess, personal foul for number 11, the defensive end for the Bruins.
So we have 2:11 left to go here in our first quarter play with the Tigers up 6-0. They get a little bit of help there from a penalty, and that'll move the chains and move the ball all the way down to the 38-yard line. Tigers still in their own territory, looking to move the ball down the field. Going to make a little personnel change here. Demarion Floyd comes off. Got a couple of new players out there for this next particular down. Tommy Bethel's out there. You're going to have Talon Shirey, also Clevenger out there on that far side. On the near side, Braden Bell, empty backfield. There's a snap. Going to swing pass out to left side. Is able to connect with Clevenger. He's going to be brought down after a gain of about 2 yards.
The execution of the play was good, but
Braden Bell, empty
credit where
backfield.
credit's
There's
due.
a
The
snap.
defensive backs,
Swing
their
pass out
pursuit,
to
when
left
they
side,
saw good
is
to
able
let
to
the ball
connect
go
with Clevenger.
really
He's
fast,
gonna be
they
brought down.
closed quickly on Clevenger.
So the Tigers back to the line of scrimmage with a 2nd down and 9 after a pickup of 1. We're down to the 1 minute and 30-second mark here of the first quarter. Demarion Floyd trots back out on the field for Tommy Bethel, who actually runs off to the sidelines, gets a couple of words, and goes back out to the line of scrimmage. So he stays on for this down. And this is 2nd down and 9 again for the Tigers. Man goes in motion. That's Tommy Bethel. He comes back to the near side. Here's the snap to Good. He's going to hand it off over to Demarion Floyd. Gets out to the edge, finds a little bit of room. Flag comes in. Demarion Floyd stays up, gets down to the 42. But I got a feeling, Rick, we're going to see a holding call where that flag was thrown.
Yeah, and the holding call was late, and it was behind the play, so technically it's still a call that can be made, but it wasn't relevant. I didn't see the player get held, but if he got held, he was out of the play altogether. The ball was 5 yards beyond him.
A holding call, that's going to back them up 10 yards. We're down to the 1 minute mark of the first quarter with the Tigers up 6-0. But again, that big run from Demarion Floyd is coming back. But he'll get more opportunities for sure in this game. We're going to see some big plays for him before this game's over.
Doesn't he have a gliding motion, Matt? He just
he really does. It's very deceptive, his speed. And one of the things about him is he's a hard runner too. He's fast, but you know, guys have a hard time bringing him down because he just keeps those legs churning.
He does. He absolutely does.
He's just really developed himself physically over the last couple of years. I mean, he's always been a very talented athlete, but he's just a different player this year.
Handful of jersey will get you every time, except for that. The play was executed perfectly, I thought.
Demarion Floyd came into this game close to about 450 yards on the season.
and had against Christian Heritage, I think you said 178 yards and 4 touchdowns.
We took a timeout just before the delay of game, so we're going to take one as well down the line. We've got 37.1 seconds left on the clock here in the first quarter. Darlington Tigers 6, Bruins 0. We come back for second down and 20 when we come back in 30 seconds.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
WLAQ and also the Darlington School live stream, where we are 37.1 seconds away from the end of the first quarter. Darlington Tigers lead at 6-0. We've got second down and 20 coming up for the Tigers with the ball on their own 28-yard line. But if there's one thing that we've seen is their ability this season to come up with big plays in critical moments. So we'll see what they dial up here. There's the snap, going to hand it off, give it off to Demarion Floyd. He finds a little bit of a crease on the outside, but they close it pretty quickly, and he is going to bring the pile down, knocking the sticks down across the field. He got a decent chunk of yards, but nowhere near the line to gain to get the first down there, Rick.
Well, he's excellent run and his determination.
Give it off to Demarion Floyd. He finds a little bit of crease on the outside, but they close it pretty quickly, and he is going to bring the pile down, knocking the sticks down. Third and 11.
And the end of the first quarter, so I think we've controlled the ball well, Matt.
No doubt about it. So that is the end of the first quarter. Darlington leads at 6-0. We'll have the football when we switch sides of the fields out of the break. So what we're going to do is send it back to the studio for a 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Darlington football on WLAQ or watching on the Darlington School live stream. We'll be back in 1 minute.
They are super knowledgeable about the market in Rome, whether it's home buying, rental homes. They have their finger on the pulse of what's going on.
We both sold a house and bought a house, and the transition from both went really smoothly for us.
I feel like they've become almost a part of our family, so we're just really appreciative of Hardy and what they've done for us.
All their team put together, from maintenance to management to sales, I can't really say enough about them. I'd highly recommend them to anybody coming to town or living in Rome looking for investment properties or homes to buy.
I'd like to wish the Darlington football team a great season. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Into Chris Hunter Stadium as we get ready to resume play. I want to say a special hello to Steve and Gina Conrad. Of course, Steve was the longtime voice of the Darlington Tigers, still is in my mind, no doubt about it, in the hearts of all Darlington fans out there. And of course, our producer, Gina, always kept us in line. There's the snap, going to throw a swing pass out to the right side to Demarion Floyd in space. It's a dangerous thing, but the Bruins are there on defense, and you got to give them credit in their pursuit there, Rick.
Yeah, the play developed slower than we wanted, but Jack Good made a good throw, and he had to make an athletic play to avoid a sack. In those, if you're not here, ladies and gentlemen, to see that, Jack Good avoided a sack to complete a pass and to put us in albeit a 4th and 10 instead of a 4th and 17 backed to about the 25-yard line. So he made an athletic play, but we're going to punt it away, and the Bruins are going to try to bring it down the field in this second quarter. They haven't been effective thus far.
So Tommy Bethel right now, Rick, is standing at the 24-yard line getting set to take the snap to punt this ball away. It's in his hands. He'll put the ball in the air, got a good boot on it. Fair catch is signaled, and he will catch it at the 25-yard line, and that's where the Bruins get things started. I believe that was Hudson Gray who fielded that ball. I'm not 100% sure.
the captain, Braxton Floyd for the Bruins, made the fair catch, and we had great pursuit. He needed to make the fair catch, and they're going to set up shop relatively deep in their own territory, but they've been deeper tonight.
They really have. The
like
field
in their
position,
own end zone.
The field position game definitely has been in Darlington's favor.
It sure has.
So the Bruins go to the line of scrimmage. They're going to line up, it looks like, a shotgun formation here, two wide. Well, two wide on the far side, one on the near side. They're working from left to right, trailing 6-0. Ball's in the air, and I'm not sure where that pass was intended for there.
Well, I think the timing route that he wanted from number 88 on the Bruins sideline. The Bruins are driving, if you're listening to us over the radio, toward the field house at Chris Hunter Stadium, and he just essentially the receiver wasn't ready for it.
So here's 2nd down and 10 for the Bruins. They'll take the snap, another ball in the air. This time the timing was right on, but Balnowen's timing was good too because he was right on top of the receiver as soon as he caught the ball. But it's still a good pickup there for Braxton Floyd, as now he's got them in 3rd and very short one.
Well, number 7 got his body between our defender to where the quarterback could hit him, but that's the only thing that the receiver did positive. He wrapped up immediately.
And actually, it looks like that was
I think they gave him a first down.
They sure did. So this will be shotgun formation, 1st and 10. Dropping back is the quarterback, and he gets a wide receiver who's now shrieking down the field, and I don't think anybody's going to get him. He is going to trot right into the end zone, and that was number 30 making a great grab there. Dominic Johnson on the just great pass from Owen Brooker, and a big play opens things up here for the Bruins, Rick.
He seemed to go out more as a blocker, and then he released his blocking stance. He just got behind everybody, and it was a good play by the Bruins, pitch and catch.
No doubt about it, and that was, what, a 60-plus yard play there on the touchdown?
It was, and for 5'8", 190, he motored pretty good.
So now they will try the extra point, see if they can tack on one and take the lead. Right now we're tied. And on to kick the extra point is going to be Gavin Knuckles. I believe that's Gavin Knuckles. We'll check. Nope, it's actually Grant Holder, number 14. I didn't see the one, but here's the snap. The kick from Holder is through the uprights, and we got a 7-6 ball game. Bruins are on top.
I don't know how Talon Shirey missed that, but he was all over it, rushing from the edge, and that may come up later in the game that Talon can block one, but it's 7-6 Bruins, but I like what we've seen so far out of the Tigers. We're going to make some adjustments. That might have been a coverage snafu for us because he was behind everybody when he caught that pass.
So again, a big pass play from the quarterback Owen Brooker over to number 30 Dominic Johnson, and the Bruins hit pay dirt. They get the extra point and take the lead 7-6. 10:26 left to go here in our first half of play.
I mean, he ran it, 55 yards?
I think so, yeah. We'll double check on that with our buddy Alex Farrer, sports editor of the Rome News Tribune. He can probably give us the official yardage on that play.
From the point he caught it, he ran it about 63. 50, didn't he? Yeah, okay. 63, and probably 13 of it was in the air, and the rest of it he pounded it out and down the sideline, and it was a bit of a surprise for us. I think we have a coverage snafu that we'll correct. I'm sure that the coaches will correct that.
And here comes the kickoff here from the Bruins. It'll be fielded at about the 27-yard line. It'll be brought out by Darlington's number 7, Hendrix Jones. He is across the 35 before they bring him down, so a pretty good return and good field position again for the Tigers.
Well, Hendrix Jones, you look at it, and he's a junior. He's number 7. In any opportunity, this is the great thing about the chemistry and the team spirit of the Darlington Tigers. Any opportunity a player has as a teammate to help his team, he does, and that's exactly what number 7, Hendrix Jones, did.
So the Tigers will get ready to come back to the line of scrimmage with some work here, trailing 7-6 at home here in Game 4 of the season. Going to hit the road next week to go over to Dade County, home of the Wolverines, to open up region play with their final tune-up before you get into the games that count for the playoffs. There's the snap to good. He's going to hand it off to Bowden Owens. He's got a pretty good block and is able to get 3 or 4 yards there on first down. So if you're the Darlington offense, you got to consider that a good start to the drive. Well, get into the game.
One of our blockers was even tied in with the tackle
off the Bowden
by
Owens. He's got a pretty good block.
multiple defenders.
And
by
is able to get 3 or 4
so
yards.
we don't leave our wingman.
No.
If our guys stay on their feet and keep running, and our blockers are doing an excellent job sustaining blocks downfield.
Great offensive line play, as usual here for this Darlington team. 2nd down and 6. There's a snap. Good pulls it down, gives it off to Owens. A head full of steam. Get his head down, muscled through some players, and got a good pickup there. He was not quite. 2nd down and 6. First down yardage, good pretty close. Gives it off to Owens. A head full of steam.
We're going to go fast, 3rd and 1, and we're going to get this first down.
2nd down and 1. There's the snap. Going to go right back to Owens. He spins around, gets the first down as across midfield. 3 hard runs in a row there from Mr. Owens.
Look at the Bruins. We're going fast, and they seem to be either confused or winded or maybe a little bit of both.
Snap, gonna go
So first down and 10 here for the Tigers.
I don't know that 51's going to make it off the field before we snap.
That's a good point. He is definitely going to have to go get a blow over there on the sidelines. Take a little breather there. Eli Thompson back out on the field. Speaking of taking a breath, 3 hard runs there from Bowden Owens. He gets a break for this particular down. But, boy, that was some good running from him.
And what a talented move. He spun. He did a 360 and kept going.
Jack Good getting ready to take the snap. He's got D-Man Floyd in the backfield. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off to D-Man. Stutter step, stays up. He's down to the 45, so that'll be a pickup of about 4 yards for Demarion Floyd. But he's always a step away every time he's got the ball, Rick, of breaking a big one.
And his separation speed, like you talk about, is deceptive because he runs so strong. But if they give him a little room, he's going to say, bye-bye, baby. He is. He went 93 yards in the Christian Heritage game, didn't he?
8:12 left to go here in the first half. Bruins 7, Tigers 6. Tigers with the ball working from right to left. Jack Good getting the signal calls from the sidelines. He's going to have 3 wide receivers to the far side, a couple to the near. And they're going to have an empty backfield here for this play. As a man goes in motion, that's Tommy Bethel. Fakes to the motion man. Good is going to run it. He's got a seam up the middle. A flag comes in. We'll check that. But he gets down to about the 36, Rick. Let's check this penalty.
Well, I fear it could be holding because of the area that it's in. But Jack Good, I mean, he made a senior run from a shotgun position.
He truly did. And that's one of the things that I think can be a little bit deceptive about him. Because you don't necessarily think about his running prowess from what you've seen with the Darlington Tigers the last few years with Patrick Shelley. But, man, when he's been asked to run the football, he has certainly done a great job for the Tigers this year.
Somewhat of a late flag holding penalty against the Tigers. It moves him back. It's going to be, 2nd down and maybe 14 or 13?
Ball's going to be on the 48-yard line. Now the Darlington Tigers back on their side of the field as they do get ready for the second 14 play. Empty backfield. Good puts it in the air. Good ball. Turning around and catching it. Slade Clevenger catches it right on the sidelines at about the 20-yard line in Northwest Whitfield Bruins territory. A first down, and they're standing right there in the red zone, Rick.
Outside shoulder throw. Good knows where he was throwing it. And Clevenger, ladies and gentlemen, knew exactly where to turn to catch it. Slade Clevenger. That's an excellent catch. That is an outstanding throw and catch.
So the ball now at the 25-yard line. Darlington Tigers are in business with 1st and 10, threatening to get the ball in this red zone in Bruin territory. Shotgun formation. There's the snap, a turn and handoff to Demarion Floyd, and he is going to be brought down after a pickup of maybe 2 or 3.
Demarion Floyd's going to keep the offensive line and the linebackers honest and not drop back into short pass coverage, and Floyd will make you come up and hit him, and he will hit them back while carrying the ball.
Clevenger to the near side of this formation as a wide receiver. A couple of the far side. Talon Shirey is in the slot off to the right side. You got Bell. They're going to hand it off to Demarion Floyd. Stays up. Tries to find something there, but they close on him pretty quickly and bring him down. So that's going to be, I think, a loss of maybe a yard there. And it'll bring up 3rd down for the Tigers.
Yeah, he didn't quite get back to the line of scrimmage. I think one of the cuts he wanted to make, and he's successfully done it all night, that got a bit clogged, and the Bruins tackled us for a bit of loss.
Tommy Bethel back out on the field, as well as Eli Thompson for this package. That brings up 3rd down and 7 for the Tigers with the ball in the Bruins 22, working right to left, trailing at home 7-6. This has been a close first half, obviously. 6:30 left to go here before we get to halftime. Good. An empty backfield, drops back, looking to throw, throws a nice little screen pass to Talon Shirey. He's got some green grass.
He's going
Cuts
in.
to the near side. He's heading towards the end zone. Touchdown! Darlington Tigers. They have regained the lead on a screen pass to Talon Shirey, and great footwork there, Rick, for him to open up some space to get down to the end zone. That was a 22-yard play to pay dirt.
Was a little hitch, just a go and turn around. He caught it, and the rest was Talon Shirey, and you can't say enough about the continued blocking downfield by the Darlington Tigers, and even the interior lineman going on downfield after Talon Shirey made the catch. But the run and the vision he had to go from right to left, and he scored, and it's a big score for the Tigers.
And now they're going to go for the extra point. It's going to be Rylan Scott. And here comes the snap. The kick is on the way, and it is right down Broadway this time. We talked about that earlier with the one that hit, the post earlier in the game, that he would turn around and knock one right down the middle, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, Rylan Scott, the snap to hold the kick, it's right down the middle, just like you said, down Broadway. And, it's almost like the law of averages. He's going to get one errant kick out of a perfect kicker, and you can't get more near perfect than Rylan Scott. He's a great senior kicker and one of the seniors of the Darlington team, and he's a wonderful player and even a better student and person. His family's wonderful, but all the families for these Darlington players, the cheerleaders, the pet band, the fans that are supporting, it's a great family Darlington environment tonight.
No question about it, Rick. We got 6:21 left to go in the first half, and the Darlington Tigers are back on top. 13-7 is your score as they get ready to kick the ball away here to the Bruins. And this has been an interesting first half of football. To be honest with you, it's pretty much what I think most people expected it to be. Just two really, really good football teams locking horns and going to battle.
I agree. I think momentum's mostly worn purple. I think we've given ample credit to the Northwest Whitfield Bruins, but they're a big Quad A school that's come down here from Tunnel Hill, and I think they thought they were going to manhandle Tigers a lot better than they have tried to thus far.
Of course, on that previous drive, Rick, you saw a couple of big plays that really helped the Tigers. You look at the pass play from Good to Clevenger that got them down the field in scoring position, and then they knock it home with that pass to Talon Shirey to get some more points on the board.
While keeping them honest with Floyd's runs the whole time.
Kick is going to go towards the sidelines. It's fielded about the 20. I thought at first it was going to go out of bounds, but they fielded it, and they're going to have pretty average field position. He might should have let it.
I think he caught it and might have stepped out of bounds because if he did a fair catch.
Okay, I got
you. All right. Because if it just goes out of bounds, it'll be marked up to its ordinary position if a kick goes out of bounds. But I think he sufficiently did a fair catch and then maybe wanted to run it afterwards.
Well, the Bruins will get lined up. This time they're going to start at their own 19-yard line. And we get ready for Brooker to take the snap. Owen Brooker, their quarterback, he's going to hand it off, and they will run it and pick up about 5 yards. So they got a good push up front that time on that run.
Well, they have a big running back in number 5, Caden Ramsey, although he's a sophomore, and they have a kind of a package of running backs that come in and out. And they're big guys. They're here to play, and they're undefeated. They're 4-0, and they want to come into Chris Hunter in 5-0, but I think the Tigers have different ideas.
So they moved it about 7 yards on that play, bringing up a 2nd down and 3 with the ball now lined up at the 26-yard line. Bruins working from left to right out of their own territory. Brooker getting ready to take the snap. He'll drop 2 steps, passes out to the left side, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds, but I believe he got the first down. He did.
I think the play did just barely what it was designed to do, but we had it defended really well. I don't think that the Tigers can be ashamed of any of the defense of that. It was just a very short yard to gain to get first down.
Now they're going to run tempo. This brings up first down. There's a snap. They're going to hand it off. The defense got set and were ready, and that was Gatlin Hancock getting in there and grabbing Mr. Dominic Johnson and wrestling him to the ground. That was a good stop by the Tigers.
We didn't get our guys off the field, and I think they're going to throw an illegal participation, which is in rural translation, too many men on the field.
My goodness. So a little help there from the flag for the Bruins. As the official marches off the penalty yards, and that's going to move them out to the 35, well, about the 34-yard line. So they will line up, have a couple of wide receivers on each side of the formation. Man in the backfield, there's the snap. Quarterback fakes, puts the ball in the air. He's got a wide open receiver, and it sails over his head. It kind of looked like he looked up in the lights and couldn't find the ball.
Well, for that, because he was behind our defensive back, and I think this is where Brooker, the senior quarterback, that's already thrown for 1,100 yards, and he has a quarterback rating of 120.1 and 2.5 touchdown passes a game. He averages thus far, so that's why he does.
Going to have trips to the near side here for this package. 2nd down and 8 here for Brooker as he takes the snap for the Bruins, dropping back. He's got company. He's going to throw the ball in the middle of the field. He hits his favorite target, Hudson Gray, who gets hit by Talon Shirey after a pretty decent gain there, but that sets up a 3rd and about 5 here for the Bruins.
It's a crossing route. We call a drag route from the quarterback's left to right, and Talon Shirey was all over him immediately when he caught it, and that's why they didn't get a first down or more, and it's 3rd and long 4, I guess.
Trips to the far side, 2 wide receivers to the near side, working left to right are the Bruins, trailing 13-7. They get ready for this 3rd down and 5. There's a snap. Quarterback's going to tuck this design run all the way, but the Tigers were ready for it on defense, and they pull him down, and that's going to set up a punting situation for the Bruins.
There's a lot of things I would not want to happen to me as a runner of the ball against the Tigers, and one of them is to get hit head-on by Gatlin Hancock and Gus Gamage the bus. And that's just what happened.
There's no doubt about it. Oh, my goodness. So with 4:42 and the clock ticking, we're going to see this Bruins team punt the ball away again. Hudson Gray is out there. He handles the punting duties for them. You're going to have Talon Shirey here on the right side working to the left for the Tigers. He's standing at about the 27-yard line on the near hash for the Tigers. We get ready for this punt from Mr. Gray. There's the snap. Here comes the kick. That's going to be a pretty high booming kick. Drops in. Fair catch signaled at 30. Fielded nicely and cleanly there by Talon Shirey.
Talon Shirey, and those are the little things you prevent from becoming big things and getting lopsided field position. I was deep on punts in high school, and I can appreciate that the best he could do with that was make a fair catch and not let it get legs and roll us down into the 10-yard line, and he stepped up and did it with a lot of Bruins probably saying some not-so-friendly things to him as he was fair catching it.
These young men wouldn't do that, Rick.
Not that we know.
Going to have a couple of wide receivers to the far side. You're going to have Shirey and Bell on that side. On the near side, you'll have Eli Thompson. Jack Good getting ready to take the snap with Balnoans in the backfield. There's the snap. Going to hand it to a motioning Thompson. Gets out to the edge on the right side. He's going to break a big one. He's across the 50, the 45, 40, up to the races. He's headed towards the end zone. 10-5. Gone. Eli Thompson. Another big play for that young man. And my goodness, the Tigers have scored again.
Darlington's driving toward the concession for you on the radio, and he went from the left side of the offense toward the right. He got the handoff from Good and swept around right in down the Bruins sideline, and Eli Thompson did inimitably what he always does, and he refused to go down, didn't he?
He certainly did. A 69-yard run there for Eli Thompson to get to pay dirt, and the Tigers have increased their lead to 19-7. Now they'll come back to the line of scrimmage and get ready for the extra point from Ryland Scott. See if he can punch this through and make it a 20-7 ball game. Tigers are having some fun right now.
Absolutely.
And they've been a big play team this year. My goodness, what a big play. Here's the kick. It is right down the middle. It's 20-7.
Snap the hold to kick. Ryland Scott does what he always does, perfect. And he just showed us he was human by hitting that upright the first time. Now he's back to his perfect self, as he always is. And after Ryland Scott's extra point is good, you've got Tigers 20, Bruins 7, and momentum is wearing purple, Matt.
No doubt about it. 20-7, Darlington hosting a 4A school that came into the game 4-0, and when you look at the victories that Northwest Whitfield has, I mean, they nearly dominated Pepperell the first week of the season. They beat North Murray last week, which is a very good football team with a very, very good quarterback. Also this season so far, I'm trying to think of some of the other teams they beat.
Like you said, Pepperell 46-17, Bruins victory. 35-31, Cahulla Creek.
That was an overtime game, I believe.
And 30-17, Ringgold. And then 35-14, North Murray.
And that Cahulla Creek win is meaningful. It's kind of interesting because that program's only been around for about a decade, and for a while, if you had them on your schedule, you could go ahead and mark it a victory, and that's not the case anymore.
Not any longer, and North Murray is someone to be reckoned with now in that area.
Oh, no doubt about it. And if you've ever been to a game at North Murray up there in Chatsworth, home of the Mountaineers, you got the backdrop of Fortin Mountain. I love seeing football games there.
You do. It's a treat. It's a real treat.
So we got Tommy Bethel teeing it up at the 40-yard line. The Darlington Tigers up 20-7. Will boot it away over to the Northwest Whitfield Bruins. They'll kick that towards the corner on the far side. It'll be fielded about the 10. Brought out, running down the sidelines. They got a pretty good return out to around the 30. And that was Kendris Douglas there with the kick return. He's got some pretty fast wheels. You better not let him break loose.
He does. He really does. And we had to stop at number 20 that was... Again, he's not our gunner. You have a gunner that goes down early when you're punting because we're all filling our lanes. But number 20 for the Darlington Tigers, Timmy Smith again makes the stop in open field. He's been integral on some stops on the kickoffs on these special teams.
So 1st and 10 here for the Bruins. They'll line up in a shotgun formation. Going to throw a little pass, screen pass here on the near side. Connect with a wide receiver.
I believe the holding penalty finally came in, Matt.
Pass was complete, and they hit number 7, Braxton Floyd. But you're right. We'll see what the call is here on the flag. Hold, you're right. Yep, so this one's coming back.
It was a pass out, what we call in the flat, just a shallow turnaround pass for the running back. But the cornerback, when he was racing up, was held by the tight end. And, you can't do it, and he clearly saw him. And so the Bruins lost an opportunity for a gain to try to turn things around from this 20-7 deficit.
So now the ball is going to be lined up at the 29-yard line. This is going to be first down and an absolute mile here for the Bruins, and they're having some issues with the scoreboard. I see them adjusting right now. But 3:43 left on the clock here in the first half. Darlington leading at 20-7. Nothing wrong with it. And there's the snap. Quarterback drops back, throws a pass up the middle of the field, and is able to connect with Austin Cooley. And so they're going to get a pickup of a few yards on that play, setting up a second down, and it looks like about 6 or 7 yards to go here for Northwest Whitfield.
Brooker's definitely a senior quarterback. He's not nervous back there, and he's throwing darts, but they're shallow ones. Good defensive play.
Brooker set to take the snap here on 2nd and 8. He'll drop back, looking to throw. He's got company and gets punished. Getting back there to grab him, you had a host of Tigers. And, Rick, I saw number 4, Joel Lowenberg, punish him. I believe Bryant Powell was in on that.
Logan Floyd, Bryant Powell, Joel Lowenberg, take your pick. They all three feasted on Brooker. And Brooker needs to talk to his interior line because the same guys keep getting back there on him.
My. The Bruins get ready to go back to the drawing board here on 3rd down. They got a long way to go, about 20 yards. There's the snap. Quarterback's dropping back, going to heave one in the air, and this one's up for grabs. It is going to be knocked away, incomplete. But it was between two guys, a Tiger and a Bruin. I thought for a second Eli Thompson might have a shot at an interception there.
Well, number 13, Isaiah Foster, a 6'1", 165-pound junior, very fleet of foot. But alas, had number 5, Eli Thompson guarding him. And it was step for step, pace for pace, and Eli Thompson had the pass broken up by the receiver to keep Eli from intercepting it. So excellent play.
Another punt coming up here for the Bruins. This is going to be from Hudson Gray, who's got a lot of work tonight from the punting position. Ball is in his hands. He will kick it away, kind of a rugby-style kick. Will drop in at the 50 and takes a nice Bruins bounce all the way down to the 36-yard line. So that young man certainly did his job there with the punting duties.
Is it Australian that they're doing when they kind of run quick step to the side?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I remember a few years back, LSU was so successful with that, and it just really got on my nerves when they did that so well, But credit where credit's due. Excellent punt, and he seems to be a good athlete. He knows what he's doing handling the ball for the Bruins punter.
Ball is going to be on the 36-yard line as the Tigers begin their next drive, which could be the final drive of this football game, depending on how things go. And right now the Tigers lead at 20-7, and you've seen some really big plays here in this football game from the Darlington team. This has been a really, really explosive and exciting offense to watch so far this season.
Let's score with nearly nothing left, and then we get the ball back to start the second half.
That's right. Jack Good takes the snap, pulls it down, hands it off to Demarion Floyd. He picks up about a yard or two there. Not a lot going on in that play.
How many timeouts do the Bruins have left? Can you see? Is it a couple?
I think they have. Well, according to the score,
they have all
three of them.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. So we don't need to get too conservative here.
So clock ticking, 1:56.
I'm a little surprised they didn't use a timeout there since Floyd only gained 1 yard or maybe 2.
But we've got 2nd down and 8 here for the Tigers, working from right to left with a 20-7 lead. 2 wide receivers on each side of the formation. D-man Floyd a step away from a big play every time he handles the ball. And there's the snap. They're going to hand it to him, and he gets hit in a hurry. And if you're the defense, that's what you got to do. You got to wrap him up quick and get him down.
Well, the one way to tackle D-man Floyd was exactly the way they did. Just when the ball was handed to him, the play got blown up. He wasn't in a position to really defend himself from a couple or maybe 3 Bruins hard hits. So Floyd's going to come out and take a blow, and it's going to be 3rd down and a long 12.
That heavy hit was laid down by Dawson Whitmore, and there's a timeout on the field, so we'll take one as well. 20-7, Darlington leads at 1:31 left here in the first half. We'll be back in 30.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Well, long way to go in this game, but so far, Rick, it's a great night to be wearing purple. Of course, you could say that any night, no matter what the score is, but
Absolutely.
The Tigers are having fun tonight in this one.
Yeah, we've got 91 seconds left, and we certainly don't want them to get a cheap score, so we need to guard the ball.
Trips to the far side, 1 wide receiver to the near side. It looked like the defense may have jumped.
I think they...
Nope, timeout. Yep. Well, there's another timeout on the field, so we're going to take a quick one as well. 20-7, Darlington leads it as we near halftime. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
They are super knowledgeable about the market in Rome, whether it's home buying, rental homes. They have their finger on the pulse of what's going on.
We both sold a house and bought a house, and the transition from both went really smoothly for us.
I feel like they've become almost a part of our family, so we're just really appreciative of Hardy and what they've done for us.
All their team put together, from maintenance to management to sales, I can't really say enough about them. I'd highly recommend them to anybody coming to town or living in Rome looking for investment properties or homes to buy.
I'd like to wish the Darlington football team a great season. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
One receiver to the near side. Good takes the snap, drops back, rolls around, is going to hand it off and come up the middle of the field. He finds some room. Nowens with a big run. That was very deceptive there. He sold the fake, opened up the field, and got him a first down. Now this really opens up the playbook a little bit more, doesn't it, Rick?
Best Actor Award, Jack Good. He opened it up well. He had it up. He tucked it in low to the receiver, to the running back. First down, Tigers at midfield.
There's the snap. Going to put it in the air this time. It's headed towards Clevenger.
Catch is made.
He is able to cradle it right as he goes to the ground. I think, yeah, did he get it? I thought I saw the official signal incomplete there.
Yeah, well, I believe he did. I believe he did.
I think he had a little help there from the turf. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10, but I love the play call there. It almost worked out wonderfully. And the Tigers will go back to the line of scrimmage as they get ready for this next play with 1:11 left.
But run it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
This guy didn't know what to do with our number 17, Slade Clevenger.
4 wide receiver set. Good takes a snap. He drops back. He's got a good pocket, puts the ball in the air, and it was to Tommy Bethel. Couldn't quite hang on to it. It was a pretty decent ball, and it just kind of slipped through his fingers.
Here's Rare. He had to move from a turned around position to go back north and south to kind of take a couple of steps. Very catchable, Rare. He's going to make that catch 95% of the time.
1:07 left to go here in the first half. Darlington leading it 20-7. They've got the ball at midfield, and we should also point out, as Rick did point out a couple of minutes ago, Darlington won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so not only do they have a good lead.
There's a penalty, Matt.
They're going to get the ball to start the second half, and you're right, they're marching off a good chunk of yards.
Yeah.
I didn't see what the call was. Did you?
I didn't either. Let's see if they mark it again. It had to be a personal foul, didn't it? Face mask.
So the ball is now at the 35-yard line, and Darlington has got a great opportunity here, and my goodness, they want to step on the gas and see if they can get more points going in the locker room.
We won 6, but 15 more yards. We're in Ryland's range.
That's right. Shotgun formation. Good gets ready to take wide receivers. He drops back. He is going to put the ball in the air, and he's able to catch it over on the sidelines. A nice grab, and this time it was Tommy Bethel. They went right to him and made a nice grab.
Well, Tommy just, when you just plant your toes and you're going to fall out of bounds with it, he caught it and he just didn't move. Hit below his knees, and both feet have to be in bounds in Georgia high school football, and he had them both in bounds and made an excellent cradled catch.
So 1st down and 10 from the 21. Darlington deep in Bruins territory, threatening to get it into the red zone. There's the snap. Ball's in the air from Good over to Tommy Bethel. Hitting those passes on the sidelines in the red zone. I think they picked up about 8 yards on that play, Rick.
Well, pitch and catch, number 7, bless his heart, Captain Braxton Floyd for the Bruins, is a bit befuddled by which receiver is going to come at him.
Did a good job getting out of bounds there. We got 54 seconds on the clock. Tigers up 20-7, looking to add some more points. They're going to line up shotgun formation. Here's the snap to Good here on 2nd down. He is going to hand it off. They run to the near side with Nowens. Keeps those legs churning. He's headed towards the end zone. Did he get in? I think he's a little bit short, maybe a yard or two.
I think his face mask fell on the goal line paint, but the ball may have been just before it.
Well, let's see if they give him the rock again and see if he can punch it in.
We're going to go fast.
To him. Underneath center's going to be Jack Good. He's going to try to sneak it in, and he trots right in there. Oh, no, he doesn't. He gets stopped at the goal line. I thought he was going to walk right in for a second, Rick. But they stood him up at the goal line.
I wish we had replay on that one.
Yeah. A flag on the play. Train number 2 passes by here by Chris Hunter Stadium. So the Tigers are on the doorstep right here.
If that's a freight train, our offense and defense is paying for it. We've had a great first half.
It's 1st and goal. We've got 31.1 seconds left on the clock. Jack Good is going to line him back up right there at the goal line. And this time they're going to line him up in a Looks like a shotgun formation. I have Balnoans flanked to his right as we hear the whistle from the officials. Good takes the snap, pulls it down, hands it off to Owens, and he is up in the end zone. A 1-yard run for pay dirt. The Darlington Tigers, with 26.6 seconds left in the half, have increased their lead to 26-7, Rick.
And you got to give it to Bryant Powell, Gus Gamage, Connor Ellison, Gatlin Hancock, Truett Hayworth. The guys in the middle just dominated that yard to 2-yard penetration for the Darlington touchdown. Offensive line, just exceptional job.
Rylan Scott on for the extra point after the touchdown run from Bowden Owens that he earned the heck out of. Rylan Scott trying to punch it through and make it a 27-7 game. It'll be a 20-point ball game as it goes through, and it is.
Right down the middle, Rylan Scott, 27-7. And we get the opening second half kickoff, and with 26.6 seconds left, we will kick it to them. Now, Brooks has got an arm, so I don't think they're necessarily going to take a knee.
Rick, I think the Darlington Tigers have got themselves a pretty good football team this year.
The Darlington Tigers definitely do.
Yeah.
Brother Matt, definitely do.
27-7 is your score here. And again, we talked about it all week on the radio leading up to this game. Everybody's excited about this game because you got 2 undefeateds coming in, as you pointed out at the end of the night. That's going to change for one of them. And you definitely like to be in the Darlington Tigers' shoe at this point, more so than the Bruins, although there's a lot of play left to go in this football game. So, Darlington's got to make sure that they stay level-headed, keep their composure throughout this game. Don't start making mistakes, penalties, and things of that nature, Rick. They haven't turned the ball over, all that sort of stuff. Play sound, fundamental football, and they should be fine in this game.
Well, the size of the schools, one could say David and Goliath battle, but David put a rock in his weapon, and he slung it, and the large attacker fell dead to the ground.
Here comes the kickoff here from Tommy Bethel. This one he'll kick over to about the 25-yard line where it will be fielded, and that's a fair catch. So with 26.6 seconds left to go, the Bruins will trot back out on the field with average field position.
Yeah, it's actually better than they've mostly had. So I don't think the Bruins are going to take a knee here. I mean, they've came down here as a quad A team undefeated, and I would say from grades 9 to 12, they're maybe 5 times the size of our school. And they've come down here, and the Darlington Tigers have done nothing short of just hit them right in the mouth.
You are not kidding. That is very well put, Mr. Lundy. 3 wide receivers to the far side. You got one to the near as Brooker gets them lined up again, trailing now 27-7. Bruins working from left to right, passes in the air, and that's going to bounce up towards the wide receiver. It's incomplete.
That's nearly a sack, excellent rush, and number 50 for the Darlington Tigers. Do we have...
Yeah, it's Midday Olawararan.
Well, let me tell you, Midday, you were back there in the shirt of Brooks.
There's the snap. Going to be a handoff, and he's brought down immediately by the Darlington Tigers defense, bringing up 3rd down. And I think that was Midday again.
Midday again, also assisted by the ever-present Joel Lowenberg, number 4. This is going to do it. It's ticking down 5, 4, 3. I don't think the Bruins are going to snap it. They don't have the will to snap it again.
That's the end of the first half, folks. Darlington on top, 27-7 over the undefeated 4A Northwest Whitfield Bruins. My goodness, what a heck of a first half for the Darlington Tigers. I don't know what Coach Atha said in the pregame speech, but it must have been pretty powerful because that was a powerful performance from the Tigers. Well, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to step out for about a 3.5-minute break here as we enter halftime. When we come back, we'll recap the first half. I'm going to interview Rick Lundy because he's got a very interesting past in terms of him and his family in football, so we're going to have some fun here at halftime. Looking forward to that. But we'll send it back to the studio again. Darlington up 27-7 over Northwest Whitfield. Darlington playing at home. We'll be back in 3.5 minutes.
Here, I'm becoming who I want to be.
Here, I am looking toward my future.
Here, we learn from our failures so that we may soon succeed.
Here, we're passionate about learning and trying new things every day.
Here, we search for new perspectives and cultures so we can better understand the world.
Because at Darlington, we know we're in the most trusted hands.
As we discover new passions and learn more about ourselves through academics,
athletics,
fine arts,
and service to our community, we show our versatility as we choose different pathways to our goals.
This is our home.
We embrace challenges and persevere, even when something seems impossible.
We collaborate and create to take our place in the world.
We know that together we can make an impact.
This is our moment, our time.
Graduates today, Darlington forever.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're then guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection, or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
They are super knowledgeable about the market in Rome, whether it's home buying, rental homes. They have their finger on the pulse of what's going on.
We both sold a house and bought a house, and the transition from both went really smoothly for us.
I feel like they've become almost a part of our family, so we're just really appreciative of Hardy and what they've done for us.
All their team put together, from maintenance to management to sales, I can't really say enough about them. I'd highly recommend them to anybody coming to town or living in Rome looking for investment properties or homes to buy.
I'd like to wish the Darlington football team a great season. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Feathered tops to their hats that,
or as Jeff Foxworthy used to say, the fuzzy hat at halftime.
Exactly, and they are wearing it well and playing well. The Northwest Whitfield Bruins I understand how they're 4-0 coming into this game.
No doubt. They're a very good football team, and I'm glad you point that out, because Darlington to be in this position up 27-7, I think, is an illustration of just how good this Darlington football team is built this year. So we're going to see some exciting football. I do want to point this out because I'd made the comment just before we went into the break. I wonder what Coach Atha said in his pregame speech. And Steve Conrad came in with a good point, and I bet this is probably true. He probably told every team member that everyone is competing tonight for the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game.
Right.
So get after it, boys. Get after it.
That's right. And we got the usual suspects, a last name Lowenberg, a last name Thompson, a last name Good. The whole offensive line could share the cake. I mean, who would you want to call? Talon Shirey. There's just so many. Clevenger. My goodness, the first half Clevenger had. And also our Number 24, Bowden Owens. I mean, it's just a who's who of everyone contributing, and with the fine chemistry the Darlington Tigers have had this first half, they've done little wrong.
Oh, they have, and you make a really good point, because this is one of these teams, and every time I interview Coach Atha this year, he points this out. Obviously, those first few games, we called Demarion Floyd's name quite a lot, and we're going to do it a lot more, but there's so many different guys, as you just pointed out, with Shirey and Rush and Eli Thompson and Bowden Owens coming up big in a couple of drives in this game. There's so many different guys that you can get contributions from.
Braden Bell on the first.
Braden Bell, Slade Clevenger, you pointed out. So when you've got that many weapons that you can rely on and go to, it makes it very difficult for the opposing team to figure out how to handle you.
There's such a parity in the talent, and the team has such a chemistry that they'll pick each other up, and it's from play to play that it's a who's who on who's going to get it done, and every play.
Cap the first half here in just a couple of moments, but I do want to take a minute here, because when we were doing our research for the high school football picks this week, man, the matchups you've got just felt like you were going to have some really interesting close games, and that's what we're getting so far tonight. So I'm going to relay a few scores to you. Go ahead and let you know. Here at Darlington School at Chris Hunter Stadium, Darlington on top 27-7 over a very good Northwest Whitfield Bruins football team, Class 4A school. Model right now is really giving everything they've got to try and Bulldogs up there at Sam R. McCain Stadium and trying. That game is tied at half 10-10. I did not expect that. I know that Model's got a really good defense, but Tryon came into that game averaging over 40 points a game, so I really felt like Model would have their hands full, but that defense is standing tall tonight, and they're scoring a few points. Pepperell Temple felt like that'd be a good one. They are locked up at 14 apiece at half. It's Calhoun over Sonoraville. This one doesn't surprise me much. Sonoraville, very good football team, but Calhoun is just on a different level still. 20-7 at half for the Yellow Jackets. Let me see. Almerchi and Southeast Whitfield got a good one going there. That's 14 apiece at half. And then I wanted to see if I could find, okay, Coosa's up over Towns County 17-0. You've got Cartersville up over Heritage out of Conyers 35-0 in that football game. Okay, here's an interesting one. Irwin County comes up from Osceola, Georgia. It's about a 4-hour drive. They're
at least.
They're a single-A school, Rick. They won a couple of back-to-back championships a couple years ago. Since 2014, they've had 2 championships, and they've been the state runner-up 5 times in that span. And right now they're on top of Rockmart 14-7. So,
and that's at the Rock. That's impressive.
Yes, it is very impressive. Long road trip they had to make. Don't have a score from the Chattooga-Murray County game just yet. And we'll give you more as we go along. But right now we're going to recap the game here. Rick, talk about it a little bit more, and then we'll take a break. We come back. I'm going to interview you tonight here as our halftime guest, even though you're with me throughout the broadcast. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Darlington won the toss. They deferred to the second half. The Bruins would come out on offense, go 3-and-out their first drive. Same thing for Darlington on their first drive of the game. Then it happened again to the Bruins. They went 3-and-out 2 times in a row. Darlington would put together a drive on their second possession of the game that ended on a trick play. It was a pass from Eli Thompson after a handoff from Good. The pass went to Braden Bell to hit pay dirt. They go up 6-0. The extra point was missed, and so the score was 6:41 left to go in the first quarter. Of a 6-0 Darlington. You'd have a couple of 3-and-outs, one for the Bruins, one for Darlington, then a couple of punts, Bruins and Darlington. Then we got into the second quarter before we had another score, and early on in the quarter you'd have a score finally from the Bruins. They would go up 7-6 after a touchdown pass, a 63-yarder from, of course, their quarterback we talked about a lot tonight, Owen Brooker. He would pass that ball over to Dominic Johnson, number 30, for that big play. They'd lead 7-6. Then the Darlington Tigers would answer on a 22-yard pass from Good to Shirey to go up 13-7. Got the extra point. Good from, of course, Ryland Scott with 6:21 left to go in the half. It would be a punt on the ensuing drive for the Bruins. Then on a 69-yard run from Eli Thompson with 4:07 left to go in the first half, What a big run that was, Rick.
He just wheeled it into the end zone.
He really did. Another big play from Eli. That would give Darlington a 20-7 lead after the extra point. Again, was good from Ryland Scott, but that wasn't it. The Darlington Tigers were not done scoring. The Bruins on the next drive would have to punt the ball away, and Darlington would score for the last time of the half with 26.66 seconds left to go on a 1-yard run. A big drive. Bal Nowens was big on that drive, had several really good runs, and he was able to punch it through on a 1-yard run for that last touchdown. It's good, and now the Tigers lead at 27-7. So that should bring you up to speed on where we are right now, Rick.
Well, you know, if you watched your Wild Kingdom when I was a kid growing up, and I forgot the guy's name, that was it's Mutual of Omaha, that insurance that sponsored it, but they would tell you all about the animals, and the apt name for Darlington School is the Tigers, because tigers out in the wild will, you know, get a hold of you, check your carotid artery, and then boom, your history. I mean, that's what they said tigers do, and that's what we've been doing. We've hit this team in the mouth and in the throat this entire first half.
And it's interesting that you point that out too, Rick, because that's one of the things I talked about with Coach Atha in our pregame interview. When you look at the game 2 weeks ago against Christian Heritage, Darlington jumps out to a big 14-0 lead to start the game. It was kind of feeling like the Sonoraville game a little bit, and then they kind of let Christian Heritage hang around. By the time you got to the 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter, it was a 1-score game, and they had a couple of big plays that put them over the top and created some separation on the scoreboard. But that was what he said in the pregame interview, that needed to take this team to the next level is when you've got those opportunities to step on the gas and not let them back in the game, and that's exactly what they've been able to do in this football game so far. We got another half to go, but you like where the Tigers are and how that first half went.
Absolutely, except for maybe a miscue on the receiver getting behind everyone on their only score. We have played disciplined ball control football, but striking at any moment for these long touchdowns. So I don't think the Bruins really know how to regroup.
I don't either. We'll see what kind of adjustments they can make, but it's going to be interesting to see. Well, we're going to take another break here on a halftime. We come back, I'm going to interview my partner in crime for this evening. Rick Lundy is with us, and he's got quite an interesting history in growing up in a football family. So I'm looking forward to chatting with him about that when we come back. But we got about 9 minutes left of our halftime period. Let's step out for 3.5 minutes. Darlington on top at halftime, 27-7 over the Bruins of Northwest Whitfield. We'll be back in 3.5 minutes. Stat. They're up 27-7 on the scoreboard here at halftime, but they would have 279 total yards there in the first half, 162 rushing, 117 passing, so some good balance there. In terms of the offense, Bowden Owens, who's certainly in the running tonight for the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game, would have 69 yards on 7 carries for 1 touchdown. Thompson had the big play, 69 yards on his 1 carry for a touchdown. Jack Good was 8 of 10 passing for 97 yards and 1 touchdown. Thompson would have 1 catch for 20 yards and a touchdown, so certainly Eli is in the running for that as well. Northwest Whitfield, 136 total yards. You would have actually, it was a touchdown pass, rather, for Thompson there on the trick play, so he's certainly in the running.
That cake may need 15 spoons.
It really, truly may. But we had Northwest Whitfield for 136 total yards. You would have 12 rushing yards and 124 passing, so very heavy on the pass from this team. Owen Brooker was 9 of 17 for 124 yards and a touchdown pass. So there are the statistics from the first half, courtesy of Alex of the Roan News Tribune. We certainly appreciate that. Now we're going to turn our attention to my color man here for tonight, Rick Lundy. And Rick, again, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for giving us your time and knowledge of football, wealth of knowledge of football tonight on the broadcast. And that runs deep because you have been a part of football your entire life. So let's kind of go back to the beginning when you were a kid and growing up. I know your dad was a football coach. Tell us a little bit about your history there and how you got into it.
Well, if you go from the time I was born until the time I knew what I could know that was going on around me, the stimulus around me was sports, and particularly football. And to be blessed enough to be born into a family that would have bats and balls and rackets and clubs and footballs laying around for you to see what your passion would be was the very family I was born into. And, of course, our passion predominated in football. And I just, every sport that is a team sport, and even the individual sports that are still a part of a team, like singles tennis players, individual medalists golfing. I can't imagine that talent, but there was something so special to us in my family about football Friday nights. And my dad was a high school football coach for many, many years, and he actually recruited for the Los Angeles Rams. So that's a briar patch anyone would want to be thrown in, because in the southern region of being the Los Angeles Rams is a recruiter, scout rather. He went to all the major SEC games.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't anything when I grew up in the glorious 60s as a child to wake up and Tommy Nobis be in our backyard about to go bird hunting with my dad. We had bird dogs that he trained from pups to quail hunt, and it wasn't anything to see Falcons players back there, to see major college football coaches at the living room table having coffee with Dad. And he just grew up in an environment that it was just really a love and a passion we had. So, I always say I'm prejudiced mostly to the sport of football, but all sports are wonderful. And to make better young men and women into more improved and disciplined young men and women. And it just is things you draw upon your entire life.
And Rick, I know when you were growing up, obviously you've got two brothers and a sister, correct?
I do. Christy was a fantastic athlete, had some knee problems playing basketball, and it was back in the time she graduated in 1975. So we didn't have arthroscopic surgery. It was just if you had a knee injury, you were kind of maybe done or relegated and limited. But she was a fantastic athlete, and slow pitch softball was the order of the day for young ladies then, and she was a pitcher. My brother Bill was actually WLAQ's Offensive Player of the Week way back in the day, and your own dad, I think, recognized him, and he went to the station and picked up an award maybe around 1975 or 76, one of the home games he had. He went on with an all-region career, and he played 4 years on scholarship at Jacksonville State University. My brother Tony was a fantastic, really Swiss Army knife person. Tony could have actually played quarterback, defensive back. He was deep on punts. He played receiver, wing back, and blocking back. And he and I were only a year apart. So, Matt, he and I have been on the same football field in varsity games together. And funny story, he'd always run over to me before we left the huddle and say, "Do you have your mouthpiece? Is your chin strap snapped?" I'd say, "Get away from me. I'm ready to hit somebody." And we were predominantly a running team Tony's years, so everybody didn't get to realize really how great a hands Tony had. Bill had like 50 catches his senior year with a quarterback that signed with Georgia Tech, Ted Peoples, throwing to him. I had 30 catches my senior year. We both led the area, and Tony would have done the same had we not just been 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Catching a football was the easiest physical athletic act that came to us, Lundy brothers, and we were real blessed, and we loved it, and we all played receiver. We were all deep on punts for 5 years at Cedardown High School, so bless my mother's heart anytime they said deep for the Bulldogs for 5 years. And she, wonderful mother that drove to indeterminable numbers of practices, games. How many socks and jerseys did she wash, Matt? You know, you just think about that, and the support you have behind the scenes we take for granted often. And I was very fortunate to have the mother and dad and the brothers and sister that I have. Tony Lundy, Bill Lundy, Christy Lundy Hackney. I love you, Bill Lundy Sr. and Betty Lundy, who are both in heaven together. But, Dad, it's a great fall. You would love this game.
Oh, no doubt about it. And I had a few people ask me this week, well, who's covering the game with you this week? And I was like, well, you just wait, because whenever we get into conversations about football, Rick Lundy just absolutely lights up, because he has lived and breathed the football experience his entire life. And I know you're super passionate about it, so I'm always grateful to have you here as a part of the broadcast because of the knowledge and then also the passion that you bring in terms of talking about football.
Matt, to have an opportunity to share those things nearly chokes me up, and it's just the enriching thing, and to carry it over even particularly to the Darlington family. My daughter started here in the 4th grade. She graduated last year. She's a marching ballerina with the Marching Southerners, and they're going to be going into the Conference USA, Division I, full 85 scholarships, FBS. We're about to kick it off here, but I want to give a shout-out to my daughter, Grace Ann Lundy. She's just done a wonderful job thus far in her college days at Jacksonville State University, and as a marching ballerina and as a Zeta pledge, Zeta Tau Alpha.
That's awesome. Congratulations to her, and I know she's having an exciting year. I believe that they didn't make the trip to Tulsa with Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks, this week, but here in a couple of weeks they'll be hosting Kennesaw State. I'm going to be heading over for that game for sure.
Absolutely. Jacksonville State's 3-0. Hopefully we'll be undefeated going into the Kennesaw State game, and they could become our current rivals.
Well, here comes the kickoff, Rick. We're underway to start the second half with Darlington leading it 27-7. Ooh, my goodness. Ball came out on the sidelines after a pretty heavy hit after the catch on the kickoff. But looks like everybody's going to be all right, and the Darlington Tigers are going to start off on offense at about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I don't really understand with the referee standing there. It was a bit kind of anticlimactic with the ball coming down, and they both kind of ran into each other chest to chest, didn't they? The defender and the Darlington receiver. But all's well, everybody's up. We've got it at 25.
Rick, when's the last time you went to a football game in the middle of September and you were cold?
Well, it's been rare, but I got to tell you.
They got the air conditioner pumping in here, don't they?
Yeah. Chris Hunter Stadium has wonderful AC in the press box.
If you hear a shiver, that's why. Here's the snap. Quarterback's going to turn, hand it off to Demarion Floyd. He's found a seam. You give him a crack, he'll take a mile. He is out to about the 39-yard line. We've been waiting on him to break a big one, and that was a good play there for Demarion Floyd.
Oh, perfectly put, Matt. Just as you said, he had a crease in the interior lineman, Powell, Gus Gamage, and the cast there. They're just doing exceptional to give Floyd what he needs, and then Floyd will do the rest.
That was about a 12-yard pickup, I believe, for Floyd. Going to have 3 wide receivers, and we've got a whistle here on the play. Right now, one of the officials is talking with Coach Atha about the situation, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field. But we're going to keep it right here. I'm not really sure what just happened there. Do you know?
He's pointing at something, and I don't know if somebody from the sidelines, and he's pointing at Darlington. I don't know if they're pointing for a reason that something was said or done or whatever. I didn't see a thing. Did you guys?
I didn't. But nonetheless, we got a little bit of a stoppage of play while the officials go to the opposite sidelines, to Northwest Whitfield sidelines, to have a conversation with their head coach, Coach Robinson. And they'll get it all sorted out, and we'll resume play. It looks like the scoreboard was off for a second again.
Really?
They're having some issues there.
Matt, do you know how long approximately Josh Robinson has been there? Because I got to tell you, Northwest Whitfield didn't have traditionally, from back when I played in the second half of the 70s forward, a rich tradition in winning football games, but he has this program on top.
He's been there 12 seasons, and they've been in the playoffs the last 7 seasons, so it's been consistently good, and it's a great place to go to a game. I went up there with Model a few years ago up to Tunnel Hill, and they've got some really enthusiastic fans up there. It's a great
They traveled
atmosphere.
well tonight.
Oh, they really did. I'm glad you pointed that out, because that's a pretty good haul up there in Dalton.
Yeah, I would say probably it's a hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours.
We got a great crowd on hand here at Darlington tonight. The Darlington stands are packed. This is, of course, you got 2 undefeated teams going head-to-head. Proud programs, very fired up about a game like this. Great opportunity for both of them. And right now, the Darlington Tigers have certainly made the most of it so far.
Well, I'm not understanding the stoppage unless it's related to, well,
I think
like
it's
you're
the
saying.
scoreboard.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
In the pointing, I think, was I had an errant angle at it. He was pointing maybe at the scoreboard, not at the Darlington sideline.
Well, I tell you what we'll do until they get that figured out. I'll pull up my little handy-dandy score machine here and see if we can get you some updates from other area games, because it looks like we're about to get back underway, but not quite yet. So let me see if I can get this refreshed and feed you some scores. We mentioned to you at half it was Model and Tryon locked up at 10. Sonoraville is now trailing Calhoun by a little bit more, 26-7. Pepperell and Temple still locked up at 14 apiece. As same for Armurchie and Southeast Whitfield tied at 14 apiece. And now the Tigers are back to the line of scrimmage, and we're going to get underway. First down and 10. There's the snap, working right to left. Another handoff to Demarion Floyd, but this time the defense sniffed it out.
They seem to come from an outside angle. The hole was there for the guy came from maybe crashing down from his defensive end position to make the stop. That was an athletic play by the Bruins.
And that was no gain there for the Tigers, setting up a 2nd and 10. Going to change a little personnel as Bowden Owens, who had a few really hard runs and a touchdown there late in the first half, is back on for this particular down. Going to have 2 wide to the far side, a couple to the near. Again, Darlington, the Tigers are working from right to left. And we get ready for the snap. Dropping back is Owens. He's got a clean pocket, puts the ball in the air, and that was almost intercepted, Rick, by number 45 for Northwest Whitfield. Connor Cummings got his hands on it but couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, that's, the difference for the Bruins tonight to try to climb back into this game is to make those catches. I'm glad he didn't, but he made a good play, and it was an interceptable pass. It was.
So 3rd down and 10 for the Tigers as they're having a hard time getting off the mat here on this particular drive.
They must be keeping the clock on the field, Matt.
I think you're right. So that's going to present a challenge, no doubt about it, for us. 4 wide set. There's the snap. Dropping back is Owens. He rolls to his right. He's got company. He's going to tuck and run. Look at that leg work. My goodness, he is going to go down after a pickup of about 6 yards. Puts him in better position to punt, but he can really run the football.
Well, you know, our quarterback, like I was saying before, the slash beside his QB position, the complement on his defense is linebacker. We've got a tough kid. Jack Good is tough. It looks like we're going to need to kick it away, but he made it a better situation for our punter to back them up, hopefully deeper than even their own 30 if we can get a good punt away here, Matt.
And if you're listening down the line, you'll just have to bear with us. We don't have any way of keeping up with how much time's left in the quarters at this point, but we are in the third quarter. Darlington leads at 27-7. We're early in the third quarter, and Darlington punts it away. It is going to be a fair catch at the 25-yard line right there for the
just
Bruins
what we needed.
and Braxton Floyd, indeed.
Darlington, when you look at their numbers on the sideline, you look that every kid is ready, available, and in a passionate team spirit, ready to play. They are having a great JV program, and these kids grow up and grow into being a full-grown Tiger, and they just seem to fill the shoes each year, don't they?
They really do. And develop players. There's the snap. Dropping back is going to be Brooker. He's got company in the backfield. He'll tuck and run the football. Runs off to the far sidelines. He's hauled out of bounds. Great pursuit by the defense. He did pick up 3 yards, but still.
Well, Joe Lowenberg stood him up, and number 66, Gus Gamage, put him down hard.
So that's going to line them up with a 2nd down and 7 after a pick. It's hard earned there for Mr. Brooker. Owen Brooker, their quarterback, going to be an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers tripped to the near side, but we got some laundry on the field there, Rick.
It looks like it's offsides. We got a little eager. We were ready to get back there to get Brooker a little sooner than the ball had moved, so it's 5 yards penalty to advance the Bruins to make it a 2nd and short.
So encroachment on the defense. That brings up 2nd down and 2 here for the Bruins as they get ready to line up here for this next play. Again, we're in the third quarter. They don't currently have the time operating on the clock. It's not functioning, so we don't know exactly where we are in the quarter, but still fairly early. There's the snap. Going to fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to run the football, and he is going to be brought down, but I think he got the yardage he needed for the 1st down to move the chains.
They're doing what they need to do, and they're going fast, or they're trying to up-tempo, but Darlington still has them in their territory, and they haven't breached their own 40-yard line yet, so we've still got them. We've still got a good situation here.
Empty backfield, going to swing it out to the left side, a little pass in the flat. It'll be caught, and that is going to be about a 3 or 4 yard pickup after the catch from Hudson Gray.
Hudson Gray's his primary receiver. He's got 28 catches going into tonight's game, and that just tells you how often the Bruins will throw it, and they need to throw it often.
And they're hurrying up now. There's a pass out of an empty backfield. It's going to be a dart that's going to go incomplete. Brings up 3rd down.
Well, what I'm waiting on is just any time, because we're disciplined and because we stay at home and we play our areas in the defensive secondary, we're about to pick off a pass.
Let's see what happens on this next play. Brooker with an empty backfield and 5 wide receivers, 3 to the near side, 2 on the far side, working from left to right. Darlington up 27-7 here in this third quarter. He will call an audible from the line of scrimmage as he gets ready to take the snap here on 3rd and 5. There's the snap, going to throw a dart up the middle of the field, catches him right in the middle of the field to Rayvon Foster. Nope, that was Braxton Floyd again in a 1st down.
And Matt, I just got to say, their passing skeletons are really exact, probably Monday through Thursday. And Brooker is a senior quarterback. We had good coverage there.
1st down and 10, a dart up the middle of the field, and he turned to run before he'd secured the ball, and that's going to be incomplete. Pass was for Hudson Gray.
Clevenger on the stop. Hudson Gray could have and maybe should have caught it, but Clevenger really put a hard contact and spin on him to sling the ball out of his hands.
So this brings up 2nd down and 10 with the ball now down at the 46-yard line in Tiger territory. Another empty backfield with a 5 wide set. 3 on the near side, 2 on the far side. Man goes in motion as Brooker gets ready to take the snap. He drops back. Got company in the backfield. Can't get him, though. Ball's in the air. It's up for grabs. Who got it? Nope.
Oh!
It's going to be incomplete.
I thought that was our interception, Matt.
Had 2 guys leaping up for it. Talon Shirey was one of them. And then I believe also going up for it for the Tigers was McKay Rush.
Yeah, number 21 made an excellent play to get up for it, too. And he got up really high, too.
He did. My goodness. But this brings up 3rd down and 10 with the ball on the 46 on Tiger side of the field. Bruins with a football in an empty backfield. As Brooker looks off to the sidelines for the play call. He'll come back to the line of scrimmage, sends his message to his team, and we're ready to go here for this 3rd and 10. Brooker takes the snap. He drops back, puts the ball in the air. It's tipped, and that's going to be incomplete, bringing up 4th down.
Brooker was very lucky. And I got to say, Brooker has been throwing darts, and he's predominantly hit his target. And I'm grateful that we've had great coverage. And I think the receivers for the Bruins have been – their head has been a bit on a swivel on wondering where the defenders are going to come from to make contact. We've had excellent coverage.
So now they will punt it back away to the Darlington Tigers, handling the punting duties, Hudson Gray. One man back here for the Tigers, that's Talon Shirey, standing on the far hash at around the 20, or actually the 15-yard line, and the ball's going to drop, and it rolls towards the far sidelines, and they'll down it at the 16.
This is as deep as Darlington has started in their own territory, isn't it, Matt?
It is, and again, I do want to point out, if you're listening down the line or watching on the video stream, that it is 27-7 in favor of the Darlington Tigers. They get their second possession of the 3rd quarter. However, we're not sure exactly where we are time-wise in the quarter because the scoreboard isn't working in terms of the time left in the quarter.
Well, we can deduce that it stopped on every incomplete pass. There was no timeouts called. The Darlington Tigers ran the ball a lot, so we should be maybe a little less than halfway through the 3rd quarter.
There's the snap. They're going to hand it off to Demarion Floyd, and he cuts towards the inside and is able to pick up 2 or 3 yards on that play. And again, if you're the defensive coordinator for Northwest Whitfield, you know what that young man can do, and you're holding your breath every time he gets the ball.
Well, his multifaceted, his talent. I'm waiting on when we flip the ball to him and he throws a pass, meaning Floyd.
Oh, yeah. Get it out to the 29-yard line, leading at 27-7. Going to send a couple of wide receivers to the far side, and the slot's going to be Talon Shirey on that far side. Split far wide right is Braden Bell. Got a couple here to the near side. As we get ready for the snap, empty backfield for Owens. Turns to his right. He's got company, spins around, and he is going to be brought down and takes a sack behind the line of scrimmage, about a 3-yard loss.
At least a 3-yard loss. I think, now here's the thing that you would have to be here to see. I appreciate that Jack Good didn't just get rid of it and make a mistake and throw an interception. He tucked it. He took the energy that the Bruins brought to him, and it's a 4-yard loss, but it's not an interception.
2nd down and 13 here for the Tigers in the 3rd quarter, leading at 27-7, playing here at home against the Northwest Whitfield Bruins. Going to send trips to the far side, a couple of receivers to the near side. One went in motion. That's Thompson. Ball's on the turf, and it's going to be, looks like the Bruins got on top of it there first and come out with it. We'll see. Owens has got it in his hands. Bruins are pointing their way.
Jack Good's got it in his hands.
It's the Bruins. They're going to get it.
Interesting. Well, the final words with the referees, the Bruins have it.
And a rare turnover for the Darlington Tigers. You don't see that happen a whole lot. Okay, so we just heard over the PA 5:22 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. So
and we play what, 12-minute quarters, 48 minutes of football?
Correct. And so you'll see the Bruins with great field position with the ball on the Darlington 20. So this is their best field position they have been able to grab in this football game. They've got to be able to take advantage of it if they want to have a shot in this game. So Darlington has to pin their ears back on defense and see if they can get a stop here in the red zone. Shotgun formation here for Brooker. He turns quick to the right, passes, and he cuts up towards the near hash.
About the 16, maybe?
Yeah, about a 3-yard pickup there for the Bruins after the pass over here to Isaiah
Gus Gamage
Foster.
on the stop, and also on the stop, number 67, Connor Ellison, along with Gamage.
So they go back to the drawing board here, 2nd and 7. 2 wide receivers on each side. Sniffer back on the left side of the formation. Turning is Brooker. He's got company in the backfield. Stays up. And
Wow.
he is going to run towards the sidelines right to the end zone. I believe he was able to make the grab. He did. And that's a touchdown for the Bruins. They're able to make the most of the Darlington turnover. The pass is to Braxton Floyd. He catches it. A flag comes in after the touchdown is scored. Is that going to be an unsportsmanlike? Or?
Yeah, it's not going to affect the touchdown, but you're exactly right. Somebody misbehaved, and it was right in the referee's face. And the Darlington player had run off. It was the Bruin player that joined the Bruin player that caught the pass getting up.
Braxton Floyd with a touchdown catch there from Owen Brooker. And that'll bring the Bruins a little bit closer, 27-13 here over halfway through now with the third quarter. So they're trying to climb back. Darlington turned it over at the 20-yard line. A couple of plays later, the Bruins are in the end zone. So this could be a really big game turning point here.
And they have an interesting formation. It's one of those stacked formations that is almost looking at it from top to bottom above it like an arrow.
Gavin Knuckles on for the extra point. And this would make it 27-14 as he gets ready for the kick. Right now the score is at 27-13, about 5 minutes left here in our third quarter of football. Do want to mention the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show with Lynn and Austin coming up tonight. You make sure you want to stay tuned after this game for that. But here is Knuckles with the point after as we get ready for the snap. The hole will be from Braxton Floyd, the young man that just scored the touchdown. Kick is on the way, and Rick, it is good.
Clevenger nearly got it. He didn't. And I don't know that we're not going to get a blocked extra point. I don't want the Bruins to score again and have a chance to kick. Credit where credit's due. The ball laid on the ground, and the Bruins did what they had a mandate to do, which was score in the third quarter. And now with, maybe 3.5 minutes left, you think, in the third quarter, maybe 4 minutes?
I'd say it's closer to 5,
okay.
About 4.5 maybe. Kind of hard to tell. We don't have the luxury of a clock. It's 5. Okay, we're right at the 5:08.
Wow, okay.
Yep.
Well, I know the Riverside Auto Group and Avery Drugs and GNTC and Harbin Clinic are proud sponsors, and they allow wonderful football to be called by second-to-none Matt Davis and everybody that's at the studio for WLAQ. So Atrium Health of Floyd, Honeymoon Bakery, they're going to give the icing on the cake player of the game that Matt and I will talk about later. Rome Orthopedic Center and Ware Mechanical. I mean, how do you do it without those great advertisers?
Oh, absolutely. Our radio sponsors, we couldn't do it without them, and provide the audio also for the video. So we really appreciate them making it possible for us to be here with you. And now we're going to see Grant Holder kick it away after the penalty yards are assessed. That goes through the back of the end zone, and it'll be an automatic touchback.
So it clearly was, I guess, a penalty against us, as close as he kicked that. Whatever happened in the end zone on the touchdown catch. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't squib it. You know, we got the ball the same place we would have had they kicked it from the usual place and kicked it in the end zone.
Well, the ball's going to be now, as you mentioned, at the 20-yard line. Do want to mention that coming up tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of sports for you on WLAQ. We'll have Georgia Tech versus Ole Miss, pregame at 1:30, kickoff at 3:30 from the Flats, Grant Field down there at Georgia Tech in Midtown Atlanta. Then we'll have Braves versus Phillies, 7:20. We'll join that one in progress after the Georgia Tech football game. It's going to be a good day on WLAQ. Thank you, sir. There's the snap. And nothing doing there on that first play. Demarion Floyd is going to be dropped in the backfield for a loss of about 4 yards there, so we're moving backwards there, Rick.
Well, the worst thing you can do with a 27-7 lead is to have a mishap. The other team sticks it in the end zone. It's then 27-14, and now they drop you for a loss. They begin to think they can win the game again. So we got to shut the door again. We got to hit them in the throat, control the line of scrimmage and drive it downfield and maybe score by the end of the third quarter to make it 34-35-14.
And the Tigers will get ready to come back to the line of scrimmage here with 2nd down and 13 with the ball on their own 17-yard line. Good lines up with Demarion Floyd in the backfield working right to left. Floyd's got it. He is going to be wrapped up. They got 3 or 4 guys gang tackling. That's good defense there by the Northwest Whitfield Bruins.
Effective plays in the first half. They've maybe made some adjustments, and I think they're keying on Demarion Floyd. So we're going to soon see Coach Bell do something as a offensive coordinator wizard that's going to really show them maybe a simple gadget that Floyd flips it back to our quarterback and he throws a pass from there.
Going to have a couple of wide receivers to the far side, a couple to the near. This is going to be 3rd down and 12 here for the Tigers as we get fairly late here in the third quarter with Darlington leading at 27-14 after leading 27-7 at half. So the first blood here of the second half came from Northwest Whitfield after a turnover. There's the snap, the pass up the middle of the field to Shirey. He's got a little space. He's going to get out to the 25-yard line before they reel him in. So a positive play there for the Tigers, but that's going to bring up 4th down. They're going to have to punt here.
We're about 5 yards short, but we're ending on a very positive play. And we get a good punt out of here and can get a defensive stand, and we need to flip field position again. The Bruins have taken advantage of the fumble they scored, and then we had the penalty on the kickoff. So we just got to settle down and get back to what we did the first half.
So Tommy Bethel to punt this ball away. He fields it at the 10. He's going to kick it away. High booming, spiraling kick that's going to drop in at about the 30. Takes a nice Darlington bounce. Is downed by Bowden Owens at the 26-yard line. So good kick.
The kick by Bethel was what we needed. Now they've got the ball, 2 yards better than where they would started traditionally, maybe at the 25-yard line after a score. But
2:40 left in the third quarter. Thanks for the help from Alex Fair there. As again on the scoreboard, the time is not functioning, but we do know now it's 2:40 left in the third quarter. Darlington leading at 27-14, and now the Northwest Whitfield offense back out on the field as Brooker gets ready to take the snap. He drops back, puts it in the air up the middle of the field.
There he
Connects
goes
with Isaiah Foster. He finds a seam up the middle, and he's off to the races. One man to beat, and he beat him. Touchdown, Bruins. Another big play, and that was about a 71-yard play to get to pay dirt, and just like that, we got a one-score game, Rick. My goodness. So a little pass up the middle of the field to a man with fast wheels, and he was able to get into the end zone.
That was a pitch and catch, and that skinny post they hit him on, and he took it to the house. He did what we've seen their stats show they can do.
So now we got a 27-20 football game, and they will try to tack on the extra point and make it a 6-point ball game as we get ready for Gavin Knuckles to try to punch it through after the hold from Braxton Floyd. Here's the snap. Oh, it was a high snap. Floyd is going to have to scramble and try to throw a pass. It is going to be intercepted on the 2-point try, and the score is going to be 27-20.
That's going to even us out on the PATs.
Still in favor of the Darlington Tigers. Wow, what a turn of events there, though.
Well, that's what we needed, and we've been aware on each play that, they've had a close margin of error, and their kicker has barely gotten it off from either Clevenger or Talon Shirey not blocking the extra points from their previous scores. So that high snap, the floodgates opened, and Darlington stayed with the receivers and nullified the 2-point conversion.
Well, Rick, after a situation like that, you've given up 2 quick scores after leading 27-7 at the half. There was a turnover that kind of set things in motion a little bit there for Northwest Whitfield on that first score. Then they get the ball back after forcing a 3-and-out for the Tigers, and then they come out with a big 70-yard pass play to get another score. You got a one-score game. This is a situation where Darlington's offense absolutely has to answer the bell right here.
It's time for ball control again. It's in the first half, and close the third quarter with another score that puts us up 2 touchdowns again.
Kickoff is going to drop in at the 30. A fair catch is signaled there by the Tigers and Hendricks Jones. So they'll have the ball at the 29 to start their next drive. Late here. Oh, they got the time back on the scoreboard. So 2:28 left here in the third quarter. That is helpful.
It is, and I think we do such ball control. I agree. The desperation and the passing, no matter what time was left on the clock, that senior quarterback Brooker was going to do. I think not having the scoreboard, and I'm not whining, but I am saying not having the scoreboard to look at took a little bit of ball control from us.
So shotgun formation. There's the snap. Good. Turns. Hands it off. It's right back to Good. Puts it in the air. Almost perfectly executed. A little bit over the wide receiver's hand. It was a flea flicker, and but it just didn't work out. Just a little bit off there on the play.
Well, it was the handoff and the flip back, just as we talked about. And it's there, and they're pulling so many in the box of their players. I think we need to run it again soon.
I love that play. That's
I love it. It's a simple gadget. It's a simple gadget that you can do well on.
If you time it right, it and you execute it perfectly, it can really burn the defense in the right movement. But that's going to bring up second down here for the Darlington Tigers. Ball is going to be on the 29-yard line. They're going to send trips to the near side. A couple of receivers to the far side, working right to left, up still, but only by one score, 27-20. And here's the snap. Good turns, hands it off to Bownowan's a hard run and a full head of steam. He gets about 8 yards. That man is on a mission right there, Rick.
He is. He got north and south. He got low, and it's almost like the sleds that you see them pushing under the 3.5, 4 feet above ground. They have them do this crabbing in the Iron Tiger. He was running and pulling two Bruins defenders.
3rd and 1. They go back to that well again. Bownowan's running with some spirit here, and he got close. Couple flags come in, Rick.
I'm hoping that's a face mask and not a hold.
We'll wait for the officials' call here in just a couple of moments.
Face mask.
Yep.
Bruins. And that was a pretty flagrant one. I mean, they twisted our ball carrier around really hard. I mean, as flagrant as it was, it's no more than 15 yards. But, we've got tough Tigers. They're tough. We're playing up tonight. We're single A private. They're quad A. They're undefeated. They've come down here from Tunnel Hill, and they want to catch us and beat us, don't they, Matt?
Yes, they do. And now, after the 15-yard penalty, Darlington's got the ball on the opposite side of the field at the 46-yard line with a fresh set of downs. So hopefully they can keep that momentum going and grab a score back.
Well, the scoreboard's out again, and we're down to 32, 31, 30 to get it snapped. So we've got to be near the end of the third quarter.
Here comes this. Well, it looked like we had encroachment there for a second. Didn't get the call.
Yeah. Wow.
And the coaching staff's just going nuts over on the sidelines.
We still got a play to run.
But 1st down and 10.
Yeah.
Empty backfield. Good takes the snap, drops back, looking to throw, puts it in the air, is able to connect with Tommy Bethel, who runs out of bounds on the sidelines after a positive play.
Yeah, number 45 for the Bruins, Connor Cummings. He's a senior, and they pulled him out there to attempt to guard our left side wideouts. And the earlier one, who's back in there now, number 7, Braxton Floyd, that's the captain in tonight's game, was really struggling on trying to cover both Bell and Clevenger.
Going to have an empty set here for Jack Good. Man goes in motion. That's Bownowan's. Now he'll flank to the right of the quarterback. They turn, hand it to him, runs to the near side on the short side of the field. Is going to be brought out of bounds at about the 36. So that's close to get a first down. He may be a little bit short about a yard, it looks like.
Short of them, and the ball carriers carried him out of bounds. I know our ball carrier wanted to go down in bounds if he was tackled at all, but short of that stopping the clock. Excellent play. We're controlling the ball well.
3rd and 1, a seam up the middle for Bownowan's. He gets the first down, and there's a little pushing and shoving underneath. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see a flag there.
Well, when the ball carrier's put on the ground and he was trying to get up, he's entitled to have his space to get up, and it looked like that there was a little activity, but it's football. There's a lot of frustration. We're mounting a drive, and the Bruins don't like it.
Shotgun formation 4-wide set, 2 on each side. Here comes the snap to Good. He drops back, puts it in the air. Pretty good ball. It's to Clevenger. Oh, it's going to be knocked loose. Incomplete pass. Good defense there. Thought that was going to be a touchdown pass to Clevenger.
Well, Clevenger had it in his hands, and the ball carrier did what he needed, that he brought his arm up in between Clevenger's chest and his outstretched hands with the ball and stripped it. Clevenger made a great play except for bringing it in. We're going to see Clevenger make that catch even later tonight as he's made earlier catches.
So we're in the final seconds here of the third quarter. We got to be real close, but again, the clock is not functioning in terms of the time. We do know Tigers are up 27-20, and they are going to snap the ball again. Good takes the snap, pulls it down, hands it off, and a pretty nice run up the middle. He stays up and is going to be brought down, but that was the Tigers' Joel Lowenberg running the ball that time. A nice hard run. Picked up a good chunk of yards there.
Yeah, Joel Lowenberg is one of those players that, you can count on to do most anything, and it looks like the third quarter's done, and we're on a drive.
Darlington Tigers with a 3rd down and short coming up here as they move the ball deep in Northwest territory. It is 27-20 in favor of the Tigers as we get ready for the final quarter of the football game. Let's step out for 1 minute.
disciplined, talented, smart athletes like the Darlington Tiger young men are, you can script that and you can execute it.
The kick is good from Ryland Scott. It's 34-20 in favor of the Darlington Tigers. I'm not sure how much time is left here in our fourth quarter, but we're still pretty early on here in this quarter because the scoreboard not functioning tonight here in terms of the time left in the quarter.
And what can we say about 51 Gatlin Hancock, 52 Bryant Powell, 54 56 Truett Hayworth, 66 Gus Gamage, 67 Connor Ellison. You've got these interior linemen, and how many holding penalties the entire game have we had? And with those gadget plays, it takes extra seconds to develop them. They're so disciplined and they're so crisp in their blocks. I just can't say enough about Darlington's offensive line.
Very well put there, Rick. And now the Darlington Tigers get ready to boot it back away, and it felt like there for a minute that all the momentum had completely shifted over to the Northwest Whitfield side of things, and that might have taken a little bit of air out of their sails. So let's see if Darlington can really pin their ears back here on defense and get a stop here and keep that momentum in their corner.
Well, if we can do just what you said, desperation will be seen and felt from the Bruins sideline.
So the Tigers will get ready to kick it off. Tommy Bethel handling the kickoff duties here after the extra point from Ryland Scott. Darlington up 34-20. Here comes the kickoff. That's going to be about a short kick over here to about the 30. They almost recovered it. The Tigers did.
We nearly got it. It's one of those excellent kicks that Ryland Scott can place, and he virtually landed it like hitting a bucket right on the 30-yard line, and it's actually marked on the 31. And the young man for the Bruins did a good save by hanging on to that.
So they will field that and get it at the 31-yard line as the Bruins will start their next drive on their side of the field. We're in the fourth quarter, not sure exactly how far into the quarter we are. We got
keep the receivers in front of you, secondary.
No doubt. 4 wide receiver set. Here's the snap. Going to put one in the air. It's incomplete.
And I got to say, in and out of the hands of number 2, Brooker he's on target tonight.
He really is. He can throw a dart, too. Hudson Gray was the intended receiver on that particular pass.
And it was on fire. There was smoke on it. Number 2 has caught some exceptional passes tonight.
Shotgun formation, 4 wide set. 2nd and 10 here for Northwest Whitfield. They got the ball on their own 31, working right to left. Quarterback's got company, has to just kind of dump it. It's going to be incomplete. Intended wide receiver on the far side was Isaiah Foster. He's got a lot of targets he likes to get the ball to.
He does. He can mix it up a lot, and I got to say, when they watch film Monday, one thing they're going to say is the percentage of receptions from the receivers was down some, but our coverage, we're nearly in their shirt with them. Our coverage is great, and I think that's disrupting the receivers' concentration for the Bruins.
4 wide set for 3rd down and 10. Dropping back is their quarterback, Brooker. He's got company being chased around. Ball's in the air. It is caught. Oh, my goodness. What a grab by Kendris Douglas, who runs it down inside the 10 on a massive play and sets them up with 1st and goal from just inside the 10-yard line. Wow.
I mean, we had coverage. He dropped it right in the bucket, just beyond the reach of the Darlington defender, and it was a good play. Looks like there may be a cramp with one of the players. He's kind of laid himself down unless he just couldn't make it to the sidelines. Hopefully it's only a cramp.
That was the young man that caught the pass, Kendris Douglas, number 10.
He kind of oddly twisted his body to let it fall into his hands. So, I don't know, maybe he's got something muscular going. You hope it's not serious. There's a timeout on the field.
Well, this one's not over yet by a long shot. Everybody out there listening.
Speaking of long shots, Brooker can take them, can't he?
He really can.
Yeah.
They've had some big plays in this game. It's definitely been an interesting game. We've seen a lot of big plays for both teams. We've seen some times of the game where the Tigers have been kind of grinding it out and that sort of thing. So we've seen a lot of different looks in this football game.
Exactly.
It's been fun. But right now the Tigers are up by 2 scores, 34-20, with the Bruins threatening here as we're in the fourth quarter. And we'll see if we can get a check on the time here in just a couple of moments, because we've mentioned several times throughout we haven't had a clock in terms of time left in the quarter much of this second half, and that's kind of created some interesting scenarios. It's going to be kind of hard to keep check of timeouts and things of that nature in terms of where we are on that scoreboard.
Yeah, we take for granted the operation of the clock and everything just being status quo. So when it's out, it's something that's glaring, and I'm sure the Bruins, throwing at every play, are less concerned with the time that's left on the clock than the Darlington Tigers wanting to ball control the clock.
Brooker throws one up the middle of the field, and brought down immediately is going to be Braxton Floyd, who caught the pass, so they're going to have it now inside the 5.
You know, I got to tell you, the coverage by number 6 for the Darlington Tigers,
Sammy Konchesky, there's nothing else he could do. The ball was just right there where it needed to be. Passes in the air, nearly caught in the end zone for Northwest Whitfield Bruins, but it's incomplete, and that's going to set up third down here for the Bruins. And Sammy, that you just referenced, Konchesky, his dad, Tony Konchesky, is the football coach for the Berry football program. He's their head coach.
Well, I tell you, at Valhalla, they're hard to beat, aren't they?
They really are.
Yeah.
They got a game there tomorrow, I do believe.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Going to be shotgun formation here for third down.
I'd watch this quarterback from running it. The quarterback can run.
Here's the snap, and he is going to run it. Good call there, Rick. And he is going to be stood up before the goal line. He didn't get there. He might have got the first down, but he's short of the goal line.
Every second we can have tick off is the second we need to see go.
So that's first and goal here for the Bruins. And again, not sure where we are in terms of clock here in the fourth quarter. We got to be getting fairly late in the quarter, don't you think, Rick?
Yeah. Have the Bruins had a fumble tonight? I don't
believe so.
I don't think they put it on the ground. Now would be a good time, Matt.
Shotgun formation. Everybody in tight except for one receiver. Quarterback's going to run it, and he has stood up, and they're going to take a loss. They're still moving him back.
And there's a flag. There's a flag.
Yep, got some laundry on the field.
Yeah, I fear they're going to call us offsides. Came from the far side of the field. I didn't see it, but he's paid to watch it. Let's see what it is. They're conferring. He was stuffed.
Yes, he was.
Wow. They're signaling a face mask against the Darlington Tigers.
So that'll be half the distance to the goal here for the Bruins. And it'll be first and goal.
Now, if he just signals face mask and he doesn't go personal foul face mask, do they have the different ones, an inadvertent one versus?
Yep.
It ain't going to make a difference as close as they are here.
Shotgun formation, first and goal. Here's the snap. Quarterback's going to run it to the near side, and he tries to get a little room on the edge. It's not there. Ball comes out, and it goes out of bounds, but great pursuit setting the edge there by that defense to stretch him out, not let him in the end zone.
He tried to dive and use his right hand to put it inside the cone, the front cone to the end zone, and our Darlington defender knocked it out. We're hanging.
No doubt. And as you referenced earlier, as much clock as the Tigers can take away here is going to help the cause for sure. Regardless of whether they score or not. Hopefully they don't, but we'll see what happens. Brooker gets ready to take the snap. He's going to drop back, going to try to throw this time, and he is able to connect with his wide receiver, who is Austin Cooley, and that's going to be a 2-yard touchdown pass, and it's a one-score football game again.
Yeah, if the Tigers can get this kickoff and sustain a drive and go back up 2 scores, I don't know how much time is going to be left in the fourth quarter then. But it's got to be done. We can't go 3 and out.
So now we'll get ready for the extra point attempt here from Gavin Knuckles. Hole will be handled by Braxton Floyd, and this would make it a 34-27 game. So a 7-point game if he can punch this through the uprights. here with time waning here in the fourth quarter. Not sure exactly how much is left. They'll announce it on the PA here in a minute, so we'll see if we can catch that. But the kick is through the uprights. After a little bit of a commotion, there was a flag on the field.
Maybe on the kickoff. Let's see what it was. Roughing the kicker against us, there'll be some sort of penalty on the kickoff.
All right, so 34-27 is your score. And let's make sure that when they announce that time left on the clock, see if we can try to catch that. And as you mentioned, after the PAT, the flag will be assessed on the kickoff. And I didn't hear him say the time left here in our fourth quarter. And again, if you're just tuning in, we don't have the luxury of having the time on the clock here, so I'm not sure exactly where we are. But we got to be pretty late here in this game. It's closing in on 10 o'clock. The Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show is coming up.
What's your guess of yardage passing that Brooker has?
Well, let's see.
I bet it's got a 2 in front of it.
I bet it's close to 3.
Yeah, 3.
I mean, maybe 250, 275. What do you think?
Well, in the first half, he had 124 passing. And for what he's done in this half, it's got to be closer to 300 than 250.
So the kickoff will happen from the 45-yard line as we get ready for Mr. Holder to trot up to the ball. That's going to go into the end zone, an automatic touchback.
Now, they've fired every gadget they have, if any. All they can do is try to pass on us to catch us, and they're within a touchdown. This is where the offense of the Darlington Tigers needs to hunker down and control the ball.
So the Tigers will start at the 20-yard line, their own 20-yard line, working from left to right, leading this game. It's been a good one, 34-27. The Bruins keep battling here in this second half. And we're late in the fourth quarter as the Tigers will trot their offense back out on the field and try to grind this one out.
Well, we've scored most times we've had the ball or sustained drives, so there shouldn't be anything different here. Let's go about our business and score again.
So shotgun formation, Bowden Owens in the backfield. They're going to turn, hand it off to him. He finds a good seam. He cuts up field, and he is down to the 30-yard line. A great pickup there on first down for the Darlington Tigers.
Hey!
And a little bit of pushing and shoving extracurricular going on after the play.
Well, I can assure everyone what we're watching and what we're commentating on is a great football game of two fine programs battling, Matt, right?
Oh, no doubt. And I like how the officials are maintaining control of the game, but they're letting them play at the same time.
They are. This is football. This isn't flag football, and it isn't touch football.
You don't want to let things get out of control, but at the same time, it's a physical game, so you got to expect some of that.
Exactly.
So we're going to have a couple of wide receivers to the far side, one to the near. Owens is in the backfield there with Good. He'll turn, hand it off to Owens, runs it out to the left side, but he's going to be brought down pretty quick that time.
For little or no gain, it'll be second down and basically 10 yards. They've got one middle backer that is doing really a yeoman's duty right in the middle. And I'm trying to, he's number 38. Is that his number? He may be closer to us. He may be the guy just beyond him. 38 is one of them. 28's the other.
Jax Brooker is 38. And he's
And then 28 for them as well is
Ike Ralston.
And on virtually every running play, there's stops.
Empty backfield here for second down and 10. The ball is out to Talon Shirey on a pass. He finds some green grass. He's out across the 50. He goes out of bounds. So the Tigers have got it at midfield, Rick.
Listen, you get the ball to Talon Shirey and you don't put a hand on him and slow him up, he will get north and south real quick.
Indeed he will. So now the ball's across midfield to 48-yard line. Darlington Tigers on the move here late in our final quarter, leading at 34-27. And if they can move the ball down the field pretty methodically here, eat a lot of this clock and score again, they might be able to put down the final dagger. 4 wide receiver set. Shotgun formation. They're going to hand it off, going back to Owens for this play.
Wrap it up.
And he is going to be tripped up after a pickup of about 5 yards. That was actually Joel Lowenberg.
I think Joel may have gotten 6 yards. It's a short 5.
Yep.
Second and a short 5. Love that run. Love what Joel Lowenberg's doing. And the offense is doing. Offensive line, incredible job.
4 wide set, another handoff. They're going back to Lowenberg on that play, and he's going to be stuffed after maybe a pickup of a yard or two, so not a lot there on that play.
Hopefully it's second and a long 2. It could be second and 3. Or third. Third, rather. That was second down. Oh, goodness.
Flag on the play.
Oh. It's against the Bruins.
Oh, wow. That's going to give the Tigers a first down. So the Tigers at the line of scrimmage, which is now going to be the 36-yard line in Bruins territory, working left to right. They lead it, the Tigers do, 34-27, a 7-point lead late here in the fourth quarter.
Matt, if the listening audience could see us, we're standing up, sitting down like we're ready to don a helmet and go in for the Tigers, aren't we?
No doubt about it. There's a snap. Good's going to turn, hand it off. And you see Lowenberg there trying to pile drive through the line of scrimmage, but there's just nothing there but a wall.
Something's created an animated Gatlin Hancock, and he's been in the trenches all night, and I'm sure it's, something that he's getting effortfully defensively from the Bruins, but, Gatlin's a gamer, and the only time he won't be hitting you as hard as he can is if he's not on the field.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Well, the Tigers will come back to the line of scrimmage. It's been great to see Truett Hayworth and also Bryant Powell's in the game earlier and seeing those guys come back for the Tigers. 4 wide receivers. They will fire off to the right side. It's intercepted. A rare interception and turnover for the Tigers. And the Bruins are going to have the ball across midfield at about the 45 after the interception by number 28 for the Bruins. That's Ike Ralston. You were just talking about him moments ago.
Yeah, he's been the one that's been a thorn in our side on our runs and short passes. And the Tigers we got to play defense. It's time for defense.
5 minutes and 22 seconds left in the game. We just heard over the PA. And now the Bruins are going to have the ball at the 46-yard line on Darlington's side of the field with just over 5 minutes to go, as you just heard. And Darlington leads at 34-27. So it is now time for this Darlington defense to really step up in this game and come up with a stop here. This is dangerous territory. Short field here for the Northwest Whitfield Bruins, trailing the Darlington Tigers by only a score.
Well, one interception deserves another, right, Matt?
I agree with that concept. Here is Brooker with the ball, puts it in the air, and that's going to be incomplete. Thought it was going to be another big play for them, but pass was a little bit low, and the receiver couldn't handle it up the middle of the field, and it falls incomplete.
Well, number 13 is a junior, 6'1", 165, and he's been running routes all night. I'm sure fatigue could kick in a little, and it would have been a good catch, but it low, but hit him in the breadbasket.
46-yard line here for second down and 10. Northwest Whitfield on Darlington's side of the field after the interception. Here's the snap. Booker drops back. He rolls out to his right. Scott Company puts the ball in the air. It is going to be bobbled and incomplete. It was intended for Braxton Floyd. Had it in his hands, bobbled around a couple of times, and it fell to the turf.
What about that Darlington rush? Lowenberg and others just right up in his face. I thought that they hadn't even knocked it down.
So now the ball remains at the 46-yard line with third down and 10 here coming up for this Northwest Whitfield Bruins.
Big play. Tigers hold, and Tigers can get the ball back. They may have to go for it on fourth down.
They absolutely may.
It may be two-down territory for them at the Darlington 46.
4 wide receiver set. Brooker set to take the snap from the gun. He drops back, looking to throw. He looks up the middle of the field, puts a good ball in the air, and it's going to be incomplete. There was no contact there, so no flag, a clean play. And that brings up fourth down. And let's see. I think you're right, Rick. Nope, it looks like they're going to bring on the punt team.
Well, 24, Bowden Owens, if it's not on offense, he's on defense. These guys this is Ironman football. private school single A, your best players go from their offensive position to defensive. And he made the play, Bowden Owens.
So it looks like at this point, Northwest Whitfield
watch for the fake.
Is going to trust their defense and try to get the ball back
for
that
the
way.
fake.
But you're right. You do have to watch for the fake.
Because he does that running punt.
It's Hudson Gray, and he certainly got some wheels, but they will kick it away. And that one kind of goes up the chute and drops in at about the 30, takes a Northwest Whitfield bounce in a big way, and rolls down to the 20.
19 or 20?
Yeah. I didn't.
Okay. Well, here's what we've got. If we've controlled the ball the majority of the night on offense, it's our game now to win.
So the Darlington, hang on. How much? I didn't catch that.
Did you catch how long?
We're trying to figure out how much time's left on the clock. We didn't catch it. I apologize. I think he said 3 minutes and 10 seconds, maybe. I think it's 3 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And the Tigers are going back to the line of scrimmage with a one-score 34-27 lead.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can grind out a win
here. If we could keep the ball in bounds and make them use up their timeouts, would 3 first downs do it?
Got a little personnel issue. They finally get out onto the field to avoid the delay. There's the snap. They're going to turn, hand it off to Demarion Floyd. He stays up, keeps the wheels turning, maybe picks up a couple of yards. And one thing you can say for Northwest Whitfield and their defense, you mentioned it early, they've really keyed on Floyd, kind of kept him at bay in this game. That's certainly been a big part of their game plan.
Well, they had 7 in the box, maybe 8 cheated over right after we snapped it. So they're going to make us run against 8 of their 11 on defense, so we may need to think about. And you know, who was it that said when you pass the ball, 2 or 3 things negative happen: incomplete pass or an interception?
That's right. Bear Bryant said that.
He did.
Yeah.
So you look at this and you say we may have to put the ball in the air to break the Bruins.
There's the snap, handoff to Demarion Floyd. Can he get to the edge? He's got a little bit of room to run. Stutter steps and goes out of bounds around the 20. So a lot of running, but I don't think he was able to get a lot of yards there on that particular play, bringing up 3rd down and long here for the Tigers. Man down here for the Tigers. One of the linemen, it looks like.
Was it 3rd and 8?
Yes, sir. And it looks like the trainers are going to come out and have a look at this young man who's down on the field for the Tigers. It's been a fairly long game here tonight as we're now in the 10 o'clock hour. We'll have a very brief post-game as we get ready to turn it over to Lynn Butler and Austin Butler for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show shortly after the game.
Sure wish I knew how much time was left.
I know. When they started this drive, I think he said there was 3:10 left in the fourth quarter, so we got to be.
The clock stopped for both an injury and we ran out of bounds, so we know.
And that was Gatlin Hancock who was down, and he is walking off on his own power, but he is a little bit gimpy, it looks like, on that right leg.
Yeah, he's limping. I'm thinking it's a cramp, but if anybody will get out there, he'll crawl out there and play, Gatlin.
Oh, yeah. Preseason All-State.
Absolutely.
Gatlin Hancock, who's just done a great job.
As is Gus Gamage, first team, preseason All-State. We've got 2 twin towers right on the front line.
Is Gus a senior? It says that here on the roster. I was thinking about that. I was like, man, I thought he was a junior.
I know.
My
no,
goodness.
He's a senior.
Wow. So both those guys seniors, and then Bryant Powell, who's also an excellent lineman as a senior this year. And Bryant's out on the field right now. It's good to see him out there.
The seniors are ready to step up here on the offensive line.
Jack Good ready to take the snap here on 3rd down and 8. Here's the pass in the air. He's got a man, and it's going to be overthrown just a little bit. That was going to be out of reach for the intended receiver, Eli Thompson, who's extremely athletic. But he'd almost have to leap into the stands and grab that one because that one was up there pretty high. That brings up 4th down. The Tigers are going to have to punt it. Gives a little daylight here to the Bruins.
Well, this is why you work on your special teams and you work on your punt team and your punt team coverage. So we're going to see what number 1 and number 7 can do. And
Bethel's going to punt this away. He is standing at about the 10-yard line when he kicks it. This one's going to fly down to about the 45-yard line. takes a nice bounce, so we'll see where they line it up.
46.
46.
The 46-yard line of the Bruins, and if we knew how much time was left, but it's not going to be any mystery what they're going to do. Brooker is going to try to lead them downfield with his arm. Right, Matt?
Oh, there's no doubt. Did you say 2 minutes and 7 seconds? I think that's what I heard. Pretty sure we heard 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter as we get ready for the Bruins to come back to the line of scrimmage here, down 34-27. Darlington playing at home, trying to get a stop here on defense and close this thing out once and for all. The Tigers,
Football Friday at Chris Hunter.
That's right. Tigers had a 27-7 lead at halftime. It's been back and forth in this.
About holding.
And now the quarterback runs off to the right side, puts it in the air, and he'll just throw that one away incomplete. He was getting chased all over the place on the Darlington defense.
We are defenders, both in the secondary and our linebackers and our defensive linemen are just in such great condition, aren't they, Matt?
Oh, they are. And
Gatlin's come back into the game, short of recently Gatlin needing a break, and he came back in. We haven't had anybody.
Shotgun formation, 4 wide set, 2 on each side as we get ready for 2nd and 10. Quarterback turns, fires to the right side, hits his man, and he's going to be brought down after a pickup of about 2 yards. That was Braxton Floyd, but the defense doing a great job keeping those receivers out in front and making tackles.
3 at the most, and we gained tackled. It was a pride of Tigers that made that tackle, including Thompson and also number 21 for the Tigers, Rush.
3rd down and 10 here for the Bruins. They're down to a
big
couple of
play,
downs.
big play.
It's huge.
Could be the ball game.
Here's a snap to Brooker. He drops back, looking to throw, puts it up the middle of the field. He connects with one of his favorite targets, Floyd. He's being chased around. It's going to be brought down at about the 42-yard line. That should be enough for a first down, and it is.
Just barely enough, down to the Tiger 42.5.
I just got a text message from the voice of the Model Blue Devils football team. Model beat Tryon 31-27. That's an upset tonight.
At their place, that is a big upset.
Yep. So shotgun formation, 1st down and 10. Ball is on the 42-yard line. Bruins working from right to left. There's a little quick out to the right side. Being tripped up is going to be Isaiah Foster after a pickup of about 5 or 6.
And what's important about that is he kept him in bounds. He didn't let him get out of bounds, and the clock's running.
So clock running here in the fourth quarter. We got to be under 2 minutes to play now. 2nd down and 6. Shotgun formation, 2 wide on each side. Bruins trail 34-27 to your Darlington Tigers. Fires to the right side.
He dropped it.
Went back to Foster on that one, and that's going to.
Oh, they're counting that as a catch? Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
He got on down to about looks like the 37-yard line, so he's going to be short about a couple of yards of the first down to bring up 3rd down. Nope, they're moving the chains. He got
You're
it.
kidding me.
Nope.
Wow.
So the ball's now on the 32, it looks like. Shotgun formation, 2 wide on each side, working right to left. Brooker getting ready to take the snap, and we are going to have a flag. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Tigers. Was it an encroachment, I suppose? I believe. Hope they say the time again here soon.
Yeah, the Bruins coach is really in the ear of that official that dropped the flag. That's all I'll say about that, as Forrest Gump said. Okay.
1st and 5. Here's the snap. Dropping back is Brooker. He puts a pass up the middle. There to make the stop is going to be Bowden-Owens. Great defensive stop.
Oh, you smothered him like a state champion wrestler would.
But that is going to be a first down here for the Bruins. And we'd really like to know how much time is left in this game. Ball's now in the red zone at about the 19-yard line. 1st down and 10.
We need a big play.
For the Bruins. Dropping back is the quarterback who's going to throw it up the middle of the field. Flag comes in. And that's going to be on the Tigers. Pass interference.
I'm not sure the Bruins guy didn't push off. Let's see it. No, they're calling it against the Tigers.
Yep, it's going to be pass interference against the Tigers.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it's been a wild one tonight here at Chris Hunter Stadium.
Yeah.
And
that's a critical call at a critical time.
And again, the clock is not working on the scoreboard, so we don't know how much time's left. Just kind of listen to see if they'd say it over the PA.
We need a fumble, Matt. We need an interception or a fumble, a sack.
Owen Brooker lines them up. This is going to be first down. Dropping back, looking to throw from the red zone, puts it in the air, and that's a touchdown catch. Did he break it up? Nope, he didn't. That's a touchdown catch for Isaiah Foster. That was about a 10-yard play right there, and that is, if Northwest Whitfield gets the extra point, we're going to have a tie ball game.
We are. I wonder how much time's left.
Hopefully they'll say here in just a couple of moments. Well, it got quiet over here on the Darlington side of the stands here.
Well, I'm sure they'll kick it, but if they went for two right here.
And here comes the extra point attempt. This will be from Gavin Knuckles. Hold to be handled by Braxton Floyd.
Miss it, miss it, miss it. I'm sorry, folks. I'm a Tiger.
Here's the kick. It's on the way, and it is no
he
good.
Missed it. Partially
he
blocked.
Missed it.
He
was
missed
blocked. The score remains 34-33. I wish we knew how much time was left in the game.
He missed it.
But he missed it. My goodness, can you believe what we just saw?
Single A private, David and Goliath, 4A undefeated school comes down here. What a game.
Missed extra point, and the game is 34-33, and the Tigers are going to get the ball back. My goodness. How much? I heard 27 seconds. Was there anything in front of that?
I thought he said 147.
Okay, 147.
They're hearing it better out there. Do you know this gentleman right here?
I do.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, how much time is left? We couldn't hear it.
I think 127. Dan's timing it on his phone. 127.
Okay.
So we just asked the state championship winning quarterback from 1998, Robert Hortman, how much time was left. He said 127.
And he looks like he's ready to go in, doesn't he?
He does.
He does.
He's fired up right now.
He is.
So Darlington gets the ball back with 127 left. They lead it by 1 point after the missed extra point.
How many timeouts do they have, Matt?
They have their full complement of timeouts, it looks like, according to the scoreboard. But
okay. 2 first downs should do it, maybe 1. But with a full complement of timeouts, it may be a 3rd first down we need. But
so the first run was from Bowden Owens as we get ready for the next play. Got a first down there, so it's first down and 10. Ball's going to be on the 44. Right now you see the linemen and all the players from Darlington trying to get the fans back on their feet, feed them some energy.
Well, we need to be able to hear
up.
our cadence right now, or count.
My goodness, what a football game this has turned out to be.
The fans are just, it's the Darlington family here. They're just wonderful fans.
Good takes the snap. He's going to hand it off.
There he's on. He's going.
Bowden Owens is at the 40, the 30.
Hold on to the ball.
To the 25-yard line, and he gets it down to about the 22, and that is where
Give
Darlington
that man a cake.
will line up with a fresh set of downs. And that's right, Rick. It looks like it's going to Bowden Owens tonight.
Goodness.
So 25-yard line is where we're going to see the Darlington Tigers line up with a fresh set of downs here with a 1-point lead, 35-33. And we got 1:10 left to go in this football game, it looks like.
And ticking.
And a fresh set of downs and the ball at the 25-yard line. So obviously Darlington trying to bleed out the rest of this.
We're inside a minute.
Survive with a win here at home and move to 4-0.
And we've had 2 undefeated schools battling it out here, Matt. I mean, all due credit and salute to the Northwest Whitfield Bruins.
And now we grab a timeout. We're going to do the same thing. Again, Darlington is up 34-33, 1-point lead after a missed extra point. Let's step out for 30 seconds and catch our breath.
Darlington Football would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of this year's live stream. Business Water Solutions, Coosa Steel, Hardy Realty, Riverside Auto Group, and Atrium Health Floyd. Thank you for your support. This broadcast is a production of Northwest Georgia Media. Thank you for watching.
And we're back. We're here at Chris Hunter Stadium. Darlington leads it by a point, 34-33, as it looked like the Bruins were going to tie it up at close to the 1 minute mark of the game. An extra point. And I wish that we had replay today, because I'm pretty sure one of the Tigers got a hand on that extra point attempt. We'd love to give that young man credit, but we only got one live look at it and couldn't necessarily tell from our angle. But nonetheless, it was a missed extra point, and the important part is the Tigers are up by 1 point, and they got the ball at the 25-yard line, threatening to get it into the red zone here late in this football game. Less than a minute to play. A handoff to Balno.
He's going in!
Right into the end zone!
That's a good to let him score, try to get the ball back.
My goodness.
And if here's their scheme. We get 6 points, we're at 40. We kick it, we make the extra point, we're 41. They want to get the ball back with at least a few seconds left for an opportunity to score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion and tie it.
We'll see what happens. Balnoan scores again. What is that, his third score today?
It's got to be.
Yeah, at least. So we'll check on that here in a minute. But been a lot of activity here. I hadn't had a chance to reference my notes there for a minute. But nonetheless, you got the Tigers going to the line of scrimmage. It's 40-33. They now lead it, going to go for the extra point here. Coming out onto the field for the Tigers is going to be Sam 20. And we're going to have the extra point attempt here from Ryland Scott here in just a moment to put this up 41-33. Kick is on the way, and it is good.
Ryland Scott is money kicks. And that makes it 8 points. In the scheme of them letting our player just run onto the end zone is their plan is, however long a shot it is, we need the ball back to score 6 points, get a 2-point conversion to tie it.
Very good point. So let's see what happens here. We got how much? 58 seconds left to go in the football game.
With 58 seconds left in an arm like Brooker, you can do that. We just need to keep their deep receivers running the routes in front of us and not interfere.
So 58 seconds left to go in the football game. It is an 8-point game. Darlington Tigers up 41-33. And the Bruins will get one more crack at it. The Tigers will run back out on the field and kick it back off to them here in just a moment from the 40-yard line.
I mean, by all means, don't let their skill players get a return on this ball.
Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game's coming up after the game, but I think you already know who it is. Of course, there are a lot of guys contributing to this game tonight.
Yes.
Great team effort tonight, but still not out of the woods totally yet in this game, as you pointed out.
If we got a sheet cake as big as that tiger paw and let them all feed, that would be great.
I'll see if we can work on that. But I haven't talked to the powers that be about that just yet, so let's not pull the trigger on it yet. That's going to be end over end, and that'll drop into the end zone, so that's going to force an automatic touchback, make them go 80. So the Bruins will go back to the line of scrimmage, and Darlington really needing another stop here on defense to keep this thing from going to overtime.
How exciting is high school football, man?
It's unbelievable. This has been a heck of a game, and
it is.
You know, obviously we mentioned earlier Darlington was up 27-7 at halftime, and it looked like they could really pull away in this game, but the Bruins just kept battling back, and with their ability to get big plays, they've been able to score a few times and keep things really interesting throughout the second half. There's the snap. The quarterback, Brooker, drops back looking to throw. He's going to take a deep shot on the first play, and that is going to be a no man's land, incomplete. So they take a shot on first down.
Well, the clock's running, and he's got receivers 40 yards deep trying to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Intended receiver was a Kendris Douglas. And we'll get you to the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show shortly after this football game. We're going long tonight, but it's been worth it.
And you said the keys to the game, among the keys was maintain composure, avoid mental mistakes with penalties, and we've done just that, Matt.
They throw a quick out to the right side.
It's incomplete.
It's incomplete, so that brings up third down. They've only got another couple of cracks at it here.
And another key to the game you had, my friend, is sustain and finish drives with points, and we've done that. And we've put pressure on QB Owen Brooker, the third key to the game. He's just played exemplary tonight. Credit where credit's due for their senior quarterback.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the state right now. There's the snap, going to run the football. He cuts it up to the near side of the field. He's going to be dropped at about the 28-yard line.
I don't think he got out of bounds, did he?
I don't think he did either.
Oh, they called timeout.
Okay. So we got a timeout. We're going to do the same thing, 41-33, in the waning seconds of this football game as Darlington tries to hang on and win it. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
37 seconds.
Actually, let's just keep it right here. We got 30 seconds left on the clock, and I don't think...
Yeah, I doubt these referees. That'll be a 30-second timeout. They'll have those boys back out in a minute.
Absolutely. So we're going to keep it right here through the timeout. Apologize for that down the line. But, again, exciting game here tonight.
Is that fourth down? They got to have a first down or it's over with.
It is fourth down. Yep. So big fourth down coming up. This is it right here. It comes down to one play. And right now you've got the Northwest Whitfield Bruins with the ball on the 28-yard line. They got to have a wing and a prayer right here if they want to even push this thing to overtime. Because not only do they got to score a touchdown, they got to have a 2-point conversion just to push it to overtime if they score.
Well, you said something a minute ago, and, Brooker, the senior, 1,100 yards passing, entering this game, and I bet he added 350 to that, didn't he?
Perhaps so. Brooker gets ready to take the snap, and he's going to drop back, going to take another shot, rolls out towards his right.
About holding.
And he is going to run it off towards the sidelines and goes out of bounds at around the 40. We're not sure how much is left on the clock, but we're getting close here. But there is a little bit of time left on the clock, apparently. They're going to line up at the 43, and you can hear fans saying how much time is left because the scoreboard hasn't worked in the second half. 27 seconds.
27 seconds,
okay.
And they've got it on their own 42.5-yard line, maybe 43.
So a 4-wide set here for Brooker and the Bruins.
Don't let anyone get behind you, Darlington Tigers.
Trailing at 41-33.
Because he can throw it to the end zone from here.
Oh, absolutely he can. He's got a cannon, no doubt about it. Number 15, Brooker. 4-wide set, dropping back is Brooker. Going to put it in the air, a dart up the middle of the field, connects with his wide receiver. It is complete to Austin Cooley. They're going to have it at around the 44-yard line. They hurry up to the line of scrimmage.
They're probably down this.
Brooker is going to take the ball and clock it, as you mentioned. Let's try to preserve a little bit of time here.
This should be a flag.
What a wild game this turned out to be.
Yeah. Challenging game for the officials. You had one facet of the game being all pass, and then Darlington's had a healthy mixture of a dual attack.
They sure have.
Not to mention the closeness of this series. I mean, what a great game.
They're going to line up with 4 wide here for first down and 10. Ball is at the Darlington 44-yard line. Bruins with the ball, trailing 41-33. We're in the final seconds of the football game.
Hey, how about a flag?
Another train is going by, Rick. I don't know how many this is. I lost count because it's been such an exciting football game. I haven't been able to think about
Nothing
a train.
good has come from, well, okay. Yeah, let's talk about the freight train. I need to hush. Okay. All right. Okay.
Officials having a little conference here with Coach Atha on the sidelines. Train number 4, by the way.
And let me tell you, Coach Atha's not having this conference just fleetingly. He wants to know how many seconds are left and who's watching that clock.
It'd be a good thing to know right now, wouldn't it? 21 seconds remaining in the football game. All right.
This has been the longest 30 seconds that I've experienced in a while.
Oh, you're not kidding, man. So 41-33, Darlington leads it right now. You've got the Bruins with the football. They got it at the 44.
They must get a touchdown. They must get a 2-point conversion just to tie it with 21 seconds left.
So Darlington on defense trying to pin those ears back.
Well, things seem to favor the Tigers. Brooker's a senior quarterback that can do it.
Owen Brooker had almost 1,100 yards coming into this game, was number 5 passing yards in the state, number 1 in 4A, clocks it again. And that brings up second down.
I mean, unless he's giving receivers a blow by doing that, because they're running 40, 50-yard sprints every snap.
So we get ready for the snap here on second down here from Brooker. He takes the ball, drops back, looking to throw, is going to put it in the air up the middle of the field.
Yeah! That's it, baby! The Tigers are going to win!
Intercepting the ball, and that ought to put the icing on the cake there. My goodness. Slade Clevenger coming up with a big play.
We knew that was going to happen.
And it's been a great team effort tonight for the Darlington Tigers, and it's going to end on an interception by the Darlington Tigers right there.
And I mean, everybody had great coverage. And number 17, Slade Clevenger, absolutely took it away from the receiver.
My goodness. Ball is going to be just beyond midfield.
Victory formation.
Oh. So the Darlington Tigers pick up an interception in a critical moment to ice this game. Whew. This has been a wild one.
Oh, take nothing away from the Northwest Whitfield Bruins. They traveled well, they played hard, and they could have, a lesser quality team, when it was 27-7, could have coasted, but they didn't. They battled back, fought their way back into this game, and the Tigers have done all they can to win it, and they've done what's necessary to win it, and they're about to win it.
2 wide receivers, one on each side of the formation, and Jack Good getting set to take the snap. They're lining up in sort of a pistol look, kind of give him some room to take a knee, not run the risk of getting hit right at the line of scrimmage, and that is it. The Darlington Tigers win the football game.
There's a timeout. Someone's
called. Okay.
Okay, I guess they had one more left.
So the Bruins will burn another timeout and extend this just a little bit, but not enough to get the ball back. And then you hear the tiger roar there.
You do.
Yeah.
What a sweet sound.
And we are really cutting into the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show tonight. So a brief post-game coming up.
Yeah, and
let's total up while we got a second.
Yeah.
How many touchdowns we got from Bowden Owens tonight? There's 1. 2. I got him with 3. I'm not sure about his yardage and whatnot, but he has definitely been a key cog in the victory here for the
Darlington
Tigers.
Oh, he has. And,
tonight.
Your sponsors, Rome Orthopedic Center, Ware Mechanical, Riverside Auto, Avery Drugs, GNTC Harbin Clinic, Atrium Health Floyd, and, of course, the Honeymoon Bakery decision is on its way soon, right?
That's right. I think I've got my mind made up.
I think I've got my mind made up, too.
Here's the snap. He takes another knee. And again, we don't have the luxury of knowing how much is on the clock. So Bowden Owens will pick up 163 yards on 16 carries and 3 touchdowns. Do I get the nod from you there?
You get the nod from me. Okay. Brother Matt, that Bowden Owens will be the
Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game tonight.
And not a better one, Tiger 2, that would be more deserving. And he would be the first one to say, I'm sure, everyone else deserved it as well. They play as a team. They win as a team. That's what's great about this team.
No doubt about it. But tonight's his night in terms of winning the player of the game. And the Darlington fans are going to leave happy tonight. And thanks again to Alex Farah from the Rome News Tribune sports editor for helping us out with those stats there. And in that moment, we appreciate it.
Well, Alex has braved the sub-zero temperatures with shorts on, so... He's an Alaskan.
He closed his vent. We toughed it out. We left ours open. Here's what should, I think, be the final snap of the game. As
frustrations arise a little, but they can reflect on their long ride to Tunnel Hill.
That's right. And that's the end of the football game, everybody. Darlington Tigers are going to eke out a win tonight at home, 41-33 over Class 4A Northwest Whitfield. Northwest Whitfield came in 4-0 on the season, undefeated, but they're leaving here tonight with a loss as the Darlington Tigers are moving to 4-0. And that was a great tune-up game, their final of the season as they get ready for region play to begin on the road next week.
And that's what's interesting. And the thing we've talked about is Tommy Atha and the coaching staff have these Darlington Tigers steely-eyed and ready to play and pounce because they play up. Or non-region games, we haven't played anybody that was our size. They've been twice our size or bigger, haven't they, Matt?
Oh, absolutely they have been, and that's one of the things that I think is, by design. They want to play up. They want to play tough teams and get themselves ready to go into region play, and that was a great football game. They kind of had to grind it out at the end, but sometimes you got to do that. They built a big lead early. I know they wish that they could have, stepped on the jugular, so to speak, and finished them off early, but Northwest Whitfield's a good football team. They stayed in it. Darlington was able to grind it out at the end and come out with another win, and that's the most important thing.
Well, the thing about high school athletics in any sport, particularly tonight we're talking about football, it's about tests. It's about discipline. Darlington passed the test with flying colors tonight about how to play together, how to score, and how to score often. And then when the other team, credit where credit's due, they came in as an undefeated 4A powerhouse that they would like to remain in the Quad A region that even the Cedar Down Bulldogs are in. And they came and they didn't want to leave really trampled upon, so they climbed back into the game. But what did the Tigers do? The Tigers got the ball back when they needed to, and what they needed to do most, ball control and successful execution. It's about discipline. It's about the Darlington way, and it's about how Tommy Atha raises these young men.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Couldn't have said it better myself, Rick, and I just want to take an opportunity to thank you for your services tonight and being here and calling this game with me. It's always a pleasure to get to spend time with you and talk some football.
Matt, I'm honored by it. I'm humbled by it, and I love you, and I love WLAQ. We love Darlington football. Isn't it great to be a Tiger on a Friday night?
Ain't nothing like a Tiger on a Friday night.
Ain't nothing like a Tiger on a Friday night.
Well, they get to celebrate going 4-0 tonight and picking up a big win here at home as they get ready to hit the road next week. Going to Dade County, we'll have it for you on WLAQ and on the live video stream. But with that said, Tigers victorious tonight. Tigers on top, 41-33 over Northwest Whitfield Bruins. And for Rick Lundy, Lynn Butler, and Austin Butler about to take over in the studio, do a great job tonight with the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show. A lot of interesting games tonight, a lot of conversation. Appreciate Alex Farrer for helping us out with some stats and being great company next to us tonight here on the game. And then also the video crew, Nathan Patterson and Northwest Georgia Media, and those guys do a fantastic job as well. And for you, the listener, we appreciate you listening tonight. Congratulations to the Darlington Tigers and a fantastic win tonight here at home. We're going to send it back to the studio for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show with Lynn and Austin. Have fun, guys. It's yours. Good night.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're then guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
They are super knowledgeable about the market in Rome, whether it's home buying, rental homes. they have their finger on the pulse of what's going on.
We both sold a house and bought a house, and the transition from both went really smoothly for us.
I feel like they've become almost a part of our family, so we're just really appreciative of Hardy and what they've done for us.
All their team put together, from maintenance to management to sales, I can't really say enough about them. I'd highly recommend them to anybody coming to town or living in Rome looking for investment properties or homes to buy.
I'd like to wish the Darlington football team a great season. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Darlington Football would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of this year's live stream. Business Water Solutions, Coosa Steel, Hardy Realty, Riverside Auto Group, and Atrium Health Floyd. Thank you for your support. This broadcast is a production of Northwest Georgia Media. Thank you for watching.